Zoom! All right, we are off to the races. We have made it back. Most of us. We will be...
Khalil died on the way back to his home planet.
Oh gosh, there's Echo.
Echo? Oh, because of the thing?
Stream.
Yeah.
Prosecco.
But we are here. Prosecco. Yes. Prosecco sounds amazing. We'll get everybody some Prosecco whenever we get to that point where we all deserve some Prosecco.
We'll
Yeah.
see how
Yeah,
accurate
possession.
this is, but Galil said he'll be on in 5 minutes.
Okay. Oh, it's
Starting
Khalil.
timer now.
We'll see what happens. Meeks, hello, welcome. Thanks for coming in and hanging out. Look at all those. Aw, Trevor, we like you too. Thanks for coming in and saying hello. All of the love. Wrong chat again, buddy. No, Graham, you're incorrigible. Yeah, shoot.
I don't know
but yes.
the meaning of the word.
I don't even know. Thanks for everybody who came out to hang out with us last night during Rescuers Part 4. Had some interesting little revelations in there, a couple of little, ties to some things. So that was kind of fun and kind of cool. Also got to play, some interesting NPCs that didn't have shirts on. So that was fun. Anyway, we're not going to delve too much into that because...
So are you going to admit here and now that hitting on Trevor was not a character, or is this what you always wanted to do?
God, I don't like that at all.
That's okay.
Wow, really? You disapprove of him hitting on...
No. It's fine. You gotta just adjust it. It's fine. It's a new streaming mode.
I'm a huge fan of your setup.
You beat me by 1 fucking second, you asshole.
It's
This
fine.
is terrible. Hold on.
I was chewing
There
on
you
a
go.
hot tamale and I couldn't say it.
It's fine, yo.
Oh,
It's fine.
alright.
This is Icar on Fancast now. I don't like the rules. You just enforce them. That's amazing. All right. Well, yeah, it looks fine. What are you talking about, Sonder? Hello. Good to see you. Welcome in. Or whatever. Okay, we have a fun and exciting evening planned for everybody. Mostly, we'll see how it pans out. We gotta shake some rust off, see how if everybody remembers who and what they are, and all that kind of jazz. And definitely,
D&D.
it's D&D. It's fine. Could possibly go wrong. But to get us started, we'll go ahead and start with our intro and then jump right into tonight's episode of Game of Santos. Woo! Hey, and we're back. All right.
What was that voice?
I don't know.
Nice.
As we return to the hey doggo, the Brigade of Eight, having spent some time exploring the entrance to the great underground, well, it seems seemingly underground place known that the party had known as the graveyard, a place now known as Kalashandra. The brigade has managed to circumnavigate a few traps and set off a few others. You have managed to find your way into a tunnel on a platform that goes, well, both up or down, with depending on the amount of arcane magic set into it. At this point, you, having traveled some distance and experimented some at multiple speeds, you engaged. Wow, that's terrible.
Okay, Navi.
Wow, I know. My phone is always on silent forever until today.
I thought you were yelling at
Amazing.
us. Like, I am listening.
Excuse me, I'm doing a recap.
God, you listen here. So, an elevator? Yes, Jeremy, an elevator. You engaged with some interesting creatures donated to us thanks to our lovely friend over at Kazadiem. And after defeating them, tried to set about figuring out how to navigate this particular challenge, as it seemed that the platform had continued to go up and would continue to go up for an eternity before reaching whatever destination. After some further experiments, you also discovered that gravity was a little wonky in this place, as Galil, for whatever reason, decided to throw himself off the edge and figured out that he could walk along the walls, prompting further explorations onto the platform, where we wound up with people upside down. Or were they upside down to begin with? Who knows? To try and get some answers and to communicate with the outside world, Kindred decides to cast a spell of great power, but with a high risk. Trying to communicate with someone from beyond this realm. Unfortunately, that communication was cut short, and it sent Kindred's mind broken back to his body. And that is basically where we find ourselves right at this moment. Kindred,
Well,
you guys all gathered around him find that Kindred is now writhing on the ground, his eyes blackened before becoming focused once again.
yes, Taco.
Now that you are sort of back, what is everybody doing as you see Kindred is now like writhing on the ground, and words
Panic.
words that are trying to come out of his mouth don't seem to be anything that anybody understands.
Uh-oh. Weren't we in the middle of doing or trying to do a long rest?
I hadn't started it.
Okay.
I'm going to look to our two healers, and be kind of giving this writhing Kindred some space, because as long as he's not going to roll off the platform, probably not a great idea to grab him.
Well, that was my question. Is I know when we ended, Galil said he goes to catch me. Does he catch me and hold me?
I guess we'll ask
I'm
him
also,
here in
I also
2
do that.
seconds as he just pops in. Let me switch this around real quick. Beep boop, beep boop, beep boop, beep boop, beep boop. All right.
Galil.
I'm sorry. All of our representatives are busy right now. Please try. Please try again. Oh my god, Aaron, my immersion's ruined. Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. I think so. From what I understood, he had been Galil had been standing there right beside you and was ready to pop you in the head if you failed. So I would imagine that because he was ready, Kindred, yeah, as soon as you start to fall to the ground, that he is able to catch you in that moment. And you and Sonder, Galil, are the ones who are like standing one on the one side and one on the other, as Kindred is like now on the ground. Is kind of like it's
Make a grapple check to keep me.
it's not like he's rolling violently.
Oh, shit.
His body is just like shaking.
What is
It's
grapple?
like
Athletics?
So he's seizing.
you see, kind of something like that. Not
he
super
foaming at the
violently.
Yeah, is he foaming at the
No.
Well, I'm
no.
looking at
Is-
these
is he
strangers
rabid?
holding me, and I'm trying to get away. So I rolled a. If it's athletics for grapple, I rolled a 4.
Oh yeah. So he's.
Oh, we're doing.
I would imagine it's easy enough to grapple.
He might roll a 1. No.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, maybe.
You got a 14 plus.
Okay, you hold me. But I'm gonna keep trying like. I'm gonna bite you and like yeah.
All right.
Opening
Yeah.
up everything.
I get a
might-
19 on grapple.
Oh yeah. Easy enough to
Yeah,
hold them
14
down.
plus 8. I got this.
Like I said, I got 4.
Yeah, you guys. So giving them the little bit of since you your dome, is it concentration?
It's not concentration, which was my other question. Is
Okay,
as long as
so-
I don't go out of it, because if you didn't grapple me, I was gonna hightail out of there.
But yeah. So right now, he keeps talking, but it's talking in gibberish. It's like hearing a child almost. And it's just like this slurry of words and sounds that are coming from him.
Fuck you.
Let me calm this down just a
Is
smidge.
Spock fighting Kirk? What's going on over there?
Now that I'm grappling Kindred, I'm just gonna be like, I'm so sorry, Kindred, and just headbutt him.
God,
Knock him out.
Oh. All right.
He misses and headbutts the pavement.
No.
What is that? An unarmed strike?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
Does anyone happen to have
19 hit.
diamond
Oh,
powder?
yeah.
Shield. No, I can't use action. So yeah, that hits.
Oh, I forgot we were talking about that.
I mean, if it's points wise, 5 points of damage, I guess.
Okay.
We'll say for the sake of this, because that way you don't have to continually headbutt him until he goes unconscious. Well, he goes unconscious.
I'm still grappling him
Yeah. Well, once Kindred's been knocked out, we'll say that.
until I feel him go limp.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess that didn't work.
This seems like a problem.
Fuck. He was so sure he was able to contact Emery.
Well,
What's to say you didn't?
Well, weren't we having troubles with contacting Afriel not long ago?
Yeah, but he thought that Divine Sense was blocked, so he wanted to try his way.
Aye. Well, should we...
does
Like-
anyone happen to have any rope?
Right, we might need to tie him down and gag him.
Again.
Oh, I know you'd like that. Not like do that to his nose.
Yeah,
It's
you
a-
just move
it's a
the
th- is it
unconscious
a-
and the toes.
Is this a theme for this week? We just keep bringing up rope all the time.
I will say there's
And-
about
It's a
25 feet
shibari.
of cut rope that is tied to the pillar.
And I also have where
And does anybody have powdered diamond? I only have one thing that might be able to help with this particular issue.
If you can find diamond, I can crush it for you.
I just kind of do the.
The look around for a dime.
I do not have a diamond.
Oh, well,
None of
I'm
us,
sure if it's to save him, he won't mind us digging around in his things, right? I kind of look at
Yes.
Kindred's bag of holding.
Oh my gosh.
First
But
off,
if
let's
he
tie
has
him up.
That's
And
smart.
Yeah, I'm a
I'm
little
gonna start-
concerned that in his flailing, he's going to do some magic that we can't undo. So
Right. Yeah.
Well, if it's anything
Well, I
that
also
has
got that.
a-
Don't worry.
If it's anything that has a verbal component to it, at least he won't be able to do those.
I got that covered. Don't worry. But first, help me tie him up.
I'll
Okay.
help restraining him as well.
Whoever wants to. Okay, so then with Soul's help, Galil, go ahead and make a sleight of hand check or using your dexterity
Aye.
to and with advantage.
Good. The first one was an 18 plus sleight of hand.
Mm-hmm.
21.
21. So 21 will be the DC to break out of that if he attempts to. So, Arjun, what were you gonna say?
since there's nothing I can immediately contribute to this, I'm just going to step outside the bubble if I haven't already and just keep watch on our surroundings.
Okay. Sounds.
I'm just staring at his bag standing next to Iskra like I don't want if he wakes back up and remembers any of this, I don't want to be the one that had my hand in the bag.
I'm afraid I'm going to touch a severed head again.
That's fair.
I'll do it. And I go ahead and
He's least likely to be pissed off at you of all
I'm
people.
gonna go for
Wait.
Kindred's bag.
Wait, what if he, like, charmed it? The back. Password or
That-
something.
That I can fix without the diamond.
Oh.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
Okay.
And then I kind of gulp.
That should be fine.
This bag will self-destruct in 5, 4.
We try to throw it so that it will fall down the shaft, and it's just like levitating across the area,
bobbling along the surface.
yeah, bobbing
I'll grab
across
the
the,
bag of
gravity
holding.
well.
And I'll kind of start digging around.
My eyes immediately open and I come to and I see what you're no.
No.
For the sake of brevity, I will say, Galil, since you were the one closest to me in the last room, where we found the supplies, you would know I stayed back and did find crushed gem dust. And that's in my component pouch, not in the bag of holding.
Oh, that's right. I'm gonna start searching Kindred.
Okay.
Alright, so we
for
need to loot the kindred.
so for Iskra, as you were gonna dig into the bag of holding, what are you looking for? Because as I recall, yeah, go ahead.
I know nothing about doing this. Other than something useful or diamonds. That's what I'm going for.
Okay. Cool. Hold on. Internet's doing its thing. I'm unstable.
Well, yeah.
No, it's just me. Hold on.
It's
Yeah,
Aaron.
all
We're
on.
not.
okay, it's Aaron.
Yeah. It's
I'm
stabilized.
having the
Trying
same
to-
issue too.
Yeah, I'm sitting there asking the other people in the house, like, are you guys drawing too much on the Wi-Fi?
No. There's nobody even here. I can't even blame my
Stop
roommate
moving,
this time.
Guys, I think he's dead.
Oh.
Gem.
Open.
Yes, Taco. Yes. They know not with which they mess with.
She's actually like Harry the Platypus and has a whole like spy team.
I'm gonna blame my opening the bag hole thing.
You have opened the box.
At least it wasn't me throwing a thunderbolt this time.
No.
He had a lot of data packets in there, and now they're just spilling out all over the internet.
Funny when Bag of Holding creates a buffer overrun DDoS attack.
Snaps back into sanity.
Wait,
Let's
Aaron's
see.
back.
Am I?
Yeah,
I'm back. All right. Yeah, I just turned green. Yeah, I survived. Huh, for now. And I'm the only one home. I don't understand. Like, it's just the internet doing its thing, I guess.
Spectrum.
Okay. Yeah, for real. Okay. So, Iskra, as you dip your hand into the bag of holding, looking for or keeping in mind you're looking for a diamond or something of that nature, Kindred, do
Just
you
look
have
for his component pouch.
do you have diamonds in your bag of holding inventory?
I do not.
Okay. So then as you dig around, Iskra, it's very strange. You feel your arm just going further and further and further and further in.
Uh-oh.
And is it coming back? Oh, it came back. Dang it. Come on.
8-bit.
Come on.
Apparently, the interwebs want you to take a break.
Yeah, this is just the internet being upset that we haven't streamed in 2 weeks.
It's catching up with
It's
all of
like-
the things.
Oh, now you want to stream?
I just think it's funny that
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not mad, but
Oh, come on, internet. Let me see. What could possibly... All right, maybe it's going green, yellow, orange. We'll see if it like
Yeah.
stabilizes again.
is
Party.
Windows
Okay.
trying to do an update on you.
I don't know, and I really wish that I could tell.
Hit your Windows key and type update.
Check for updates.
Mm-hmm.
Don't check for the updates.
Well,
Yeah, I
because it'll
know.
take you to the thing. It can just
Oh,
say
yeah. It said last
if
checked
it'll
today.
actually-
Yeah, last checked today was this morning.
Mm.
So I don't think it's that. Oh well, it's green now. So you know what? We're just gonna stop downloading games, Aaron. Yeah, I know. God, jeez.
You had any games on your phone?
No, even my phone's not even using Wi-Fi. Anyway, okay. Once again, Iskra, you're digging into the pouch. You don't find anything, but you do find that your arm can go quite a ways down there, and whatever you're trying to grab, you did say diamonds or anything that would be useful in this situation. Do you have any sort of gems or anything in there, Kindred? That
Not
could
in
be
the bag of holding.
not in the bag of holding. It's in your component pouch. Okay, so then Iskra, you don't find a bottom to this this pouch, and you don't kind of come up empty-handed.
is the component pouch on Kindred's hip?
That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
What were you gonna say, Harriet? Go for it, Iskra.
Well, that was weird. I didn't find anything.
Oh, normally you have to think about what you want to look for.
I swear I did.
Extra
try
dimensional
looking-
places are weird. Are very strange.
Try thinking of something simple, and if that doesn't pop up, then it just wasn't anything in there. That was a diamond, I guess.
Also,
What
was
the
I
name of the
ever
orc?
told about that time that I was carried in there in my canteen?
Yes.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
That's gonna register. It's like I was in that, like
Yeah.
all the way.
Yep.
oh yeah.
Ugh.
The
Yep.
whole time? The whole time.
The whole time.
It was less than 20 seconds.
All right then. So
Do I find his pouch, by the way?
yeah, I would imagine it's going to be on his belt or somewhere that would be easily accessible for spell casting. So it has to be,
Mhm.
it can't be too hidden. So yeah, I would say you find a little component pouch and some of the gem. See, but here's the thing. Yeah, I mean, yeah, no, I guess. And now I'm trying to like, what does a component pouch look like? Is it just a little pouch? But then you have some components that take up a lot of space, and so then I'm like, wait, so does it look like another smaller version of
It's almost like a fanny pack, but I would like to think it's magical in itself as well. That it's like kind of like a bag of holding situation, but just for components.
Yeah.
I imagine sort of like a really ramshackle fanny pack version of Batman's utility belt.
I like that also.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So we got that figured out.
I'm gonna open it and see what's all in it.
So with the gems
Secrets.
that you had grabbed, was it just gems? I think I didn't specify what the gems were.
We didn't specify. You said of my choosing, and pretty much all my spells would require diamonds or just gem in general. So I would go with diamonds, because that way it gives me that versatility of doing whatever I wanted with them.
All right, cool.
And so therefore, in the component patch is 100 gold worth of diamonds dust.
Hey,
The-
Renan, I think you need this.
And as it is handed over, actually, I think this is exactly how much I would have needed, so. Well, let's see how much this pisses him off. He's gonna be mad that we used his diamonds. And I will, there's a shudder of lightning that goes from my eyes all the way through my body, and as I touch him, it erupts over his skin as I cast Greater Restoration.
Nice. And then he explodes.
And
And then there's kindred all over the place.
now,
Again?
You got some
Not again.
guy on it.
Again?
Oh,
So what does
Guess
guess
Greater
we'll have to
Restoration
drop
do again?
his bag in the river again.
it undoes a debilitating effect, but I wouldn't have been targeting the unconsciousness. I would have been trying to feel out for whatever happened to your mind. One effect, such as charmed or petrifying a target. Da 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 da.
Okay. Kindred. I believe in that spell it says it has to be either a long rest or greater restoration.
Yes.
Okay, because I think those were the only two ways of getting it out.
Yes.
Which is really lucky because I had added the spell forgetting that it had a material component, and so it was ostensibly useless unless Kindred had the material that was necessary for it.
So it works out. Kindred, in the brief moment after that passing of your mind into mush, basically, everything becomes fragmented, and there's a jumble of memories and flashes. You have these memories of your childhood, of your time in Silvery Moon, and it's interposed with other flashes of your mind, things that you don't remember experiencing, but know to be true somehow. Way back, a floating city, Netheril, training at a wizard's college high amongst the clouds. Airships not too dissimilar from the Reclaimer, and much, much bigger, flying through the air. Magic ceasing. The city falling. A great explosion of arcane magic. And resetting of your mind somehow. That last arcane burst as the city fell. it kind of jumbles everything all together. And every time you try and say something, the words that come out are not yours. It's like watching a first-person cutscene of a game. It's like it looks like it's supposed to be you, but it's not your voice. It's not your words, but you hear it in your chest and in your ears. These are your words. And then you're falling, and suddenly that from that fall, you're amongst distorted faces, these abstract images of people that look like they should be familiar, but somehow you don't see them for what they are. You see them strangely and obscured as if through like clouded glass, and they're speaking to you, and their voices are so loud that you want to clam your hands over your ears, and as you try and bring your arms up, they're tying you further down, and you try and struggle, and every sound, every minute little crack of even feet on like stone and sand sounds like thunderclaps. Their voices sound like what you would imagine the gods shouting down from the heavens, and you want to just shatter apart like broken glass. And one of those creatures headbutts you when you go to sleep. You can feel the dazzling pain go across your forehead, and that brief moment of like, even your own thoughts and the words that are coming through your inner dialogue, you can't understand them. And then in the darkness, you feel, at some point, a light. Something shifts. And you take a deep breath. And then there's a familiar voice that beckons to you.
Oh, she's so amazing.
Having a bit of trouble, my student.
Just a minor. Wait, am I able to
You-
converse my words?
You try, and it's like waking up from a dream where sound is distorted until it becomes finite, and you can understand what it is you're hearing. It's like when you hear your alarm or a phone go off in your dream, and you're kind of like, what is that sound, until like your consciousness hones in on it and you recognize it, and that's what your words are doing.
There's a different kind of clarity sometimes when light makes its way through broken glass. Wouldn't you agree?
It's bright as fuck and it hurts.
Oh, good. You're finally awake.
I guess just like looking around in my subconscious, just like, Where are we? What happened? Did we go to Disneyland?
She's so dumb.
We're wherever your mind decides to take us. But you don't have much control of it right now.
Oh no.
I saw those things restraining you. It's your friends.
Those bastards. Oh, when I come out, they're gonna get it.
I believe it's for your benefit.
Oh,
Or
I
at
did tell
least
Galil. Yeah.
they think so. I think this could be an instructive experience.
Well, okay. So then, do I remember hearing the stupid Amaranth's voice? And you thought we wouldn't have anything against us against this? Do I remember that at all? Or
You remember hearing the voice now that you're kind of piecing it back together, but it wasn't Amaranth.
okay, well, I remember that though.
Yeah.
Okay. No, I do remember a voice. Did you hear that as well?
Yes. She was
How'd you-
kind of there.
Whispers. But I was listening. I had hoped maybe you could carry me out.
Well, give me some time and I'll still try. Or maybe you could ask Sonder. He told me, I think. Or was that a dream?
No, we have met.
Oh, okay. I knew the flower, right? The flower? Was there a
Yes.
flower? Okay,
What
yeah.
good fortune that you introduced me to him.
Yeah. So where are we again?
We are where you choose to be.
Oh, yeah.
You have, as you're trying to think, you remember where you body was left, but you also start to remember all of the fragmented memories
I will say, if anything,
and how they had, you kind of had remembered them before, briefly every now and then. It was part of the whole slow unlocking of your mind, but this kind of broke that a little bit.
I will say, if I have any somewhat semblance of control, we start to appear in Silvery Moon College, and it's just like a random part of the library.
Okay. Make a intelligence check for me.
Oh, 17 plus 5, so...
Yeah.
I see something forming. Where shall we go? The platform? The flying city?
The nonfiction section. No one ever comes here. It's rather dry and secluded, if I remember right.
You know, that journal that we were going to work on together, I had hoped to donate it to help rebuild this library.
Wow. You're like the only one who gets me.
I'm glad we understand each other.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So we're definitely getting out of here somehow. Just might take us some time, but we're doing that.
Don't be so hasty.
I know,
There's
but
much to learn from this space. I would have introduced it to you myself eventually, but since you're already here, why not wait a while?
I'm in no rush.
All right.
Your allies do want you back.
Of course they do. I help power the Wonkavator. Elevator? Escalators? The thing that moved us.
Beautiful. All right. So as you get cozy in the library and just kind of rest your eyes and your mind a little bit, you kind of start to fall and drift off into a dreamlike sleep. As it has been a day for you, and now that the unconsciousness is like set in, this dreamscape kind of starts to warp and turn in on itself as we let Kindred sleep for the time being. Those of you on the outside watching, nope, calm down. Watching Kindred, the first few moments from that knocking out, and after Renan's spell cascades around his body, you can see, you saw at first the eyes shifting back and forth quickly behind his eyelids, and after Renan's spell goes across his body, you can see that body just kind of relax, and the eyes stop their violent shifting, as it does feel as though things have calmed down a little bit.
Any luck, he will be able to actually sleep. Perhaps we should do the same.
Would really like that, actually.
Sticking my head out of the bubble, Aldrin, are you good for the first watch?
I mean, yeah, I'm a little bit daft, but I can still dole out and keep watch if I need to. You guys
Would
get
you
some
like-
kip?
Would you like me to take the first?
Nah, I'm good. I could use a minute to think to myself for a bit.
Very fair. And I'll come back in and sit back down in the same way that I was when Soul's head was in my lap.
Okay.
I'm gonna put Kindred laying down, like sitting wise, up against Oreo while she's laying down.
Okay. Who else? Is everyone else going to go ahead and settle in for a sleep?
Gonna pat Renan's shoulder in a like thanks sort of way, you know. I'm still worried about him.
Me too. Something like that is still going to hurt like hell when he gets up.
Maybe this will help him and all of us. I just remembered I was going to
Oh yeah.
summon some fey creatures.
Hmm.
They are called the Helmalus, right? So I'm gonna ask if everyone has any sort of like rations or snacks that they'd be willing to donate.
Are those the little creatures that we had when
Yeah.
human? Okay.
So they're gonna do the blessing of bountiful generosity.
Nice.
They can target up to 8 creatures within 100 feet that they can see, and the next time they finish a long rest, you regain all spent hit die and gain 10 temporary hit points.
Yeah, those guys are cool.
I don't know what all I have still on there.
Alrighty.
Yeah, I can spare some bread I would have taken with from the caravan.
Oh, I was thinking the banquet, but yeah, that's fair too.
I'm sure I have some jerky left over.
I have tubers.
Potatoes. Potatoes.
Sorry, did you say tubers or tumors?
Tubers, like roots and
Okay.
starch.
I heard
starchy
tumors at
vegetables.
first. I was wondering, did you really want to announce that on screen?
So we've got bread and meat and tubers. We've got like a little side dish and a sandwich.
Perfect.
Maybe Gilly would be willing to donate some liquid refreshment of the alcoholic sorts.
I don't think he's paying attention.
Gilio.
I'm looking to see what all I have. It has been a while.
Yeah.
Do those creatures drink wine?
I mean, I don't see why not.
If we can get a cup, I'll make a water, and we can give them all the wine they want.
Yeah,
Like
it
a
says
bunch of
they
little
crave the
drunk
same
cobbler
creature
pixies.
comforts as many folk of the world. They adore sweet candies, fresh fruit, other delicacies.
I have dried fruit in my rations.
Sangria it is.
Yeah.
Beautiful. All right. Yep. Well, without too much of a fuss, you guys set a little offering aside for the small little fey things that pop in of Soul's making. And they get to work. And you guys all start to kind of settle in. A lot of you kind of use, I would imagine a lot of you kind of use Oreo as a central pillow sofa thing. You can lay her in the center of the thing, and there's some on this side and some on this side, and you've got like a nice warm fuzzy like couch that you can kind of like lean back and snuggle in, and the deep rhythmic sounds of her heartbeat and breathing kind of lull everybody into a quick sleep from
Do you want
the.
to
Go ahead.
say real quick? I just
No, you're
love
fine.
the description. It says, when kept well fed with tasty treats, this creature is a helpful assistant that mends armor, collects herbs that make the blandest rations into a feast, and turns a dull, uncomfortable campsite into a welcoming refuge.
Nice. So they will braid your hair and give you a little background.
I know. I was thinking like putting little flowers in our
Right.
hair as we're sleeping.
They'll
Gonna
assemble
be-
your IKEA furniture.
It's gonna be like the Wizard of Oz, the Emerald City treatment.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yassified.
Yassified.
Is
Okay.
Oreo considered a medium or large creature?
Large.
Large.
Ooh. So then I would like to say that because only 9 creatures of medium size or smaller can fit in the dome, but since there's 6 of us, she would take up like 2 spaces.
Yeah.
So essentially, if Ardrin tries to come into the dome, he just meets solid wall until someone leaves.
Mhm.
Oh, I
It's
see.
fine. I would just go up and knock on it real loud and see who
Hello?
pays attention.
Hello. Hello.
When I had actually been
Yeah, that's fair.
I had actually been planning on saying that I was gonna leave because does air flow through the dome
Mhm.
particularly? I don't
Nope,
remember.
it's
what we
all
talked
stuffy
about.
because I'm asleep. No.
Yeah, it flows.
I was going to actually set my wings so that they were kind of pressed, like the tips of the feathers were pressed against the platform. So if something happens to the platform, I can feel it shift.
Oh, okay, okay.
Oh, we feel it because on the ground, but just that way
Yeah.
we know.
Yeah, for sure. Makes sense. All right, so you guys start to settle in for some sleep. As Graham, go ahead and roll a perception check for me.
Bad.
Casually rolls 20 dice.
25. So at least I get to see what killed me.
25.
I love that the music was like, so
Yeah.
25. Doom.
Done.
Khalil, as you're asleep,
Rolling.
Oreo's always been a comforting presence to you. Ever since you first found her. While you sleep, there's the warmth that she exudes, the familiar presence that you have learned ties you and somehow ties you both to Afriel. But with it, there are also other memories. A particular fight at an inn in Neverwinter. The sudden intensity of it all as you saw patron after patron of that inn fall to the ground dead, withered, the life sucked from their body as they became husks of what they once were. And you remember holding your arms in front of yourself, trying to shield yourself from a magic that you could not fight against. And as it brought you to your knees, the sinking feeling of loss and pain, and the thudding of the body as it rolled down the stairs, and the horror in your mind as you lost the one companion that had been at your side for so long. Longer than any of those people that you had met, longer than even the one who had been as close to a father to you. In your mind's eye, you wake from this dream and you look at Oreo, and she's like, has her head curled over to the side, and she seems to sense you waking, and she turns her head slowly towards you, and half of her face is gone. And your heart beats again because you're like, no, Not this again. Not this again. Sonder, there's a tumult in your mind. There's that comforting presence of Bahamut that you sense whenever you meditate. The deep, resounding sound of his voice. And you realize it's not his voice that's calling to you now. You have not heard it in what feels like ages. But it hasn't been that long. You've only been in here not even a day. But it feels like weeks have passed, months even. No, it's not his voice that drones and calls your name. It's the voice of dozens that have died. And your eyes flutter open and you see yourself surrounded by shadowed figures. And a light burns from within you, a bright, brilliant light. And you see Luca and your brothers and sisters from the monastery. All of them, just as you remember, burned, slain, some half-eaten. And they chant your name. Sonder. 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 Iskra. You'd fallen asleep in this dome in another dimension, another place, another realm, but you awaken to the sound of rain hitting glass. Glass. You wake up in your bed. Your bed. On Ravnica. In your room. In the window. And the lightning that flashes across the sky. There's a glow coming from outside. You get up and walk over to the window. There's red glows coming from across the city. Looks similar to the colors you would see during the carnal festivals that sometimes travel through Ravnica. But then another lightning bolt flashes across the sky, and you see, hanging from a large, steepled building across the way, the waving flag of the Thayan Empire. You look down at the streets. There are people standing in the rain, and they all stare up at the window. Dozens of them, unmoving. And as the lightning flashes across again, hordes of undead. If only you had stopped them from coming. Now the plague of Thay has reached across from one plane to another, one planet to another. Renan. Ever since you've been in this place, that sensation of being cut off from the outside has bothered you. Being in this tunnel has been the first time where you have felt the slightest amount of freedom. The air that moves across the surface of your feathers ruffles through your hair like someone's fingers caressing your head. But you know that it is a lie. You are bound to this place now. Bound to the ground. You try and stand and move, but you can't because your feet and arms are shackled. You try and stretch your wings, but find that there are none. You will never fly again. There's a flash of lightning. It burns through your mind. You would rather die a quick death than a slow one, never able to feel the freedom again. It will be quick. It'd be painless. Mostly. Mostly. Soul, you have felt the death and rot of this country ever since you set foot here. And it's kind of been lurking in the back of your mind. And the closer you've come to this place, the stronger the sentiment, the stronger the feeling. You've seen it spread from the inky waters of the river. You've seen what it does to the natural order of things. And you can see it now. All of the things that it will do. If it makes it beyond the walls, beyond the borders of this place. It will spread like a plague across the land. Nothing will stand in its way. The forests will wither. The tribes will be hunted down. Heads mounted on spikes as a warning to any who would oppose the Thayan Empire and whatever vile and dark thing that they are brewing in this place. But it doesn't matter now. You are in the very heart of this plague, and it's going to consume you. Won't it? Won't it? Ardrin. When sleep does eventually find you, you worry what Vianne will think if this doesn't go well. You wonder if she's worried about you as much as you are worried about her. No. No, wait, she's gone. Because of him. Because of him. And this plague that Thay has brought to everyone. And he dabbles with it. He's tempted by it. This is going to be his undoing. As much his undoing as it will be everyone else's. It's got to stop. No matter the cost. One by one you awaken. Long rest had, but a night of fitful dreams, feverish images, and uncertainty. Somewhere in the back of your minds you hear that voice, the one that has been clawing at all of your minds since you have arrived. You will fail. And you awaken.
As I come out of my trance, the first thing that I would do is just slowly reach behind me and put my own hand on my own wings, and just tears start rolling down my face as my fingertips make contact with them.
do you guys do?
I'll be staring at the tattoo on my arm, thinking about the conversation I had with Atet recently and with Renan about seeing this through.
Oh, that felt great, guys. How are y'all feeling?
Everyone looks like they're having an existential crisis this morning.
Galil
Had
headbutts
tea
him
and
again.
biscuits with strawberry in the
Mhm.
library.
Soul's gonna look for the nearest person to hug.
I'm hugging
Did you-
Oreo, already crying.
Did Soul lay back down on Renan's lap again?
If you've been there all night, he's now holding you.
Like that's he laid back down or sat back down that way and would have kind of like looked over at Soul. Like knowing that Soul is not okay in this place.
I will say, because your dream would have happened first, Renan, right? Because you had been sleeping first, so it's kind of had been in your mind as the rest
Second
of your second half of that watch goes through. Which, Arjun, during your watch, there was no change. There's been no change of like anything. You're used to Underdark, like there is no sun kind of telling of time, but it kind of gives you that kind of same feeling of it's hard to determine that a certain amount of time has passed. But I would say that as you guys switched between you and Renan, you definitely would have seen like this far away, thoughtful, maybe a little more quiet Renan than usual. And then as your night goes through, when you awaken the same as everybody else, Renan's back, or, it was just kind of like everyone just kind of looks shaken as they awaken, and you kind of get the feeling, I would say all of you, that you probably had a fitful night's sleep.
And after Kindred comes to, I would kind of walk over to him and just let the little bag that the diamond dust was in, or that I would assume it would be in, just like slide out of my hand onto his lap.
Why would you? Who gave you permission to use this?
You thrashing around after breaking your own mind.
Oh. Yeah. Now things kind of make sense. Okay. Yeah. That one's on me.
I'm sorry that I had to use it.
It could have been worse. I could have, disintegrated y'all in my absent-mindedness.
Are you feeling all right?
Actually, kind of feel fine now. Do I feel fine now? Like,
He's still
Real
restrained.
question is, did anyone bother to untie Kindred?
Nope.
No.
You feel fine, except that you now realize that your legs and arms are a little numb, and as you first start to like shift around, it's probably one of the first times you've slept for 8 whole hours. But you've realized that you are still bound.
so then can I be unbound?
I hope not.
Well, as soon as you answered that question, that was my plan.
What was your question?
How are you feeling?
Feel fine.
And I would use my dagger and cut the ropes.
Okay. So
Did we get the 10 hit points from the Fey critters?
Yes.
Okay.
So long rest plus 10.
Yes.
Yay.
Yeah.
Plus 10 temporary hit points.
Aye.
plus 10. Okay. So
A whole city guard there.
I'm not quite sure got useful information. But now we know we can't reach out.
in
Yeah.
any way.
I felt the Bahamut's absence this entire time.
I felt the weight of what we're doing here. Honestly, let's try not to spend another night in this place.
Yeah,
God, no.
we have a job to do.
And we all heard the
should keep
voice,
going.
right? Aaron?
It was more
The
of a
voice?
kind of like a, yeah, I guess to a certain degree. Like, it's not like it was a direct voice in your mind, but it was just kind of one of those whispering suggestions in the back of your head.
You will fail.
Yeah.
Of the crypt keeper.
Yeah. Alright. I think we should continue. I want to get that bastard out of my head.
I want to feel the grass on my feet and feel the wind through the trees.
Taste of strawberries. Wait.
Strawberries are tasty.
We're not
Shut
going to
up, Grant.
unpack that right now. We have this to deal with.
Iskra's just over there taking a drink, like,
So
uh,
nothing has worked yet of trying to make this thing reach a point of ending. So maybe we go back down.
well,
I think what we may have stumbled onto, which is why we're taking a long rest here instead of going somewhere else and then resting, was we have to have a certain amount of intent when we're trying to steer this thing, and then it takes us where we got to go.
I
in
look
theory.
over at Soul and say to him, now you are able to think of our destination. Sorry for yelling at you earlier.
So I did mention it briefly before we went to sleep, but if it works the way Arjun thinks it does, then it's a lot like the pendant that brought me all to you in the first place. Since we don't know exactly where we're going, a feeling will work, but it has to be really strongly held. So keep our goal in mind, what we want to accomplish.
Let's get back to the other side then.
But don't let anything else slip in, because who knows where we could wind up. Coming
Oi.
here has been important for me, but it was a mistake originally.
I don't trust myself to think of the same thing as you all. Should we make decision on what we should think about?
Specifically, phylacteries.
That's where I want to go.
Yes.
We don't know what the graveyard exactly looks like, but we know that there's supposed to be phylacteries there, so
Think about destroying them. That will work
Liches.
even better.
the 8.
And if any of you had something like what I did while we were resting, you might use some of that emotion. Put that behind your feelings.
I have things to do after this. Yeah. We have to survive.
Go to the other side.
Mm-hmm.
Arjun's just
We're
going to
not
start
gonna
heading that way.
Walk
pretty sure the
around,
bubble is
flip
gone, by
around
the
this
way.
flying
Oh yeah, it
pancake.
only lasts 8 hours.
Okay.
Did Iskra and
Like-
Arjun start just charging over this thing at the same time again, or
Yeah, it's not like I'm running or anything, but I am walking purposefully.
And you
That's the-
do, and it feels it from your perspective. It looks like they just flat, like step off over the side of it, and
Very Doctor Strange Inception.
yeah,
The trust fall inception.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And you wind
I would fly up and dive through and land on the other side.
You find yourself as you do so extremely disoriented, only in the matter of that you get outside of a certain range of the platform, and you don't feel gravity anymore. So it's like a weird, like you fly upwards, and once you're like just 6-10 feet up from it, you feel its presence less, and you kind of like reorient yourself, and as you dive past, you feel this odd tugging both from the platform and the wall, like to the side. So it's this weird, like you make the dive, but it's just weird. You can feel that pull on you a little bit on either side.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like a thing where he's going on forever, right? It just stops him.
Oh, well, I'm imagining that he doesn't fly too far up.
Like an astronaut losing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I've saw the little magic orbs vanish into non-existence. I'm not under any particular, goal orientation for joining them.
Yeah.
All right. Coolies. You're back on the top side, as it were. What are you guys doing?
I'm going to get into my meditative pose with my legs folded underneath me, and just start thinking about what we have to do.
I'll go sit next to Iskra.
I know I can't contribute any actual magic to this, so
Joel's gonna try the meditation stance that Sonder taught him, and try to do the same thing. Kind of be back to back with Sonder.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm already feeding one of the sigils to go back to where we were, I guess.
Okay. You're wanting to go back. So what is your mind telling you that you're going where?
I'm back to the department store.
You're wanting to go back to where
Wherever we were before we first came to this platform.
Okay.
Oh, that's further down.
I am focusing on.
Yeah, no one said anything otherwise other than let's
Yes,
try to
we
go
did.
back.
Yeah,
We
talked
already
about
We all
said that.
said
We
go to
were-
the phylacteries.
Yeah, we were talking about the phylacteries and the liches and the 8. And...
Okay, I didn't hear that part. I was looking at something, thinking something else.
You're fine.
The brain
As
hasn't,
we, like,
Still the side
we,
effects,
we,
it's
we
okay.
were, we
shattered
were going
yet.
down,
It's
and
side
then we like
effects.
kind of stop, and then like, okay, phylactery, platform 9 and 3/4.
Yep. Alrighty. So,
I'd like to think that Kindred the character took over Kindred the player for a second there. Just isn't quite all pieced back together there.
right. Okay. So, feeding some arcane energy into which of the sigils are you feeding it into?
The highest one that's not being used currently.
Okay. So the 20. I mean, if nobody's doing it at the moment yet, then we'll feed you into the 20.
Okie doke.
Immediately, the platform starts to rise. Faster and faster it goes up till it reaches its speed. Do any of the rest of you feed any arcane into this, or just the one?
I would like to try.
Hmm?
Thinking about the one who took away Vienne.
Okay.
The why, the where, the secret that he's been trying to hold on to. The phylacteries, what they mean, how even just taking away a few of them would change the course of so many things. Arjun's going to be, I think for the first time you've ever actually seen him holding the glass rose outright in one hand and trying to feed not illusion, which would only be one space, but Eldritch Blast, which can go to 3 simultaneously, because we're going to try and turbocharge this thing and think very carefully about its destination.
Nice. You send this hand outwards, and you're just kind of like like it just keeps going faster and faster. These little pulses of energy that kind of start to synchronize outward. So instead of one pure strand of arcane energy, it's kind of coming out in these pulses that kind of spread into 3 different directions. I like that.
I will go stand, because if that'll cover 4 of them.
Mhm.
So there's 3 left.
2 left.
2 left, because it's 6. The 6 shapes, not the 7 dice. We're good.
Correct.
Yeah. Then I will go stand between the remaining 2, and I will, holding my hands like this, I will just keep using Word of Radiance, and I'm just as if I'm crackling with lightning under my skin. The light is just bolting outward, covering those 2 sigils.
Okay. We're gonna say Sander.
I'm gonna think of 8 souls, the 8 souls of magic, and 8 phylacteries, just in my head.
As you guys are doing this in this collective thought of finding where these phylacteries are hidden, finding a way to get to them, to destroy them, the clouds continue to move past you as these little swirls of color. And almost within what feels like moments of you doing this, the clouds break above you. They shift and move out of the way. And you see a ceiling approach, coming down towards you as the platform rises up to meet a singular cut space. And the platform fits right and starts to slow of its own accord, meeting the ground, and now part of a floor of a room that you have not seen before. On either side, and the space is decently large. It's probably about 90 feet long. It's a rectangular room, about 90 feet long and 60 feet. 90 by 60. There are 3 pillars that stand on each side of this circular space. And a door. 2 doors on the wall in front of you. You have reached the next section of Kalashandra. What are you doing?
Save at the checkpoint.
quick save.
Somebody call a Moogle.
So I'm just gonna let out a little like, woo!
Are there any
So there's
like symbols
light?
or anything on the doors?
No. And these doors are massive. This room is massive. It stands 50, 60 feet tall. Much bigger than the spaces you've been in previously that had that more of that claustrophobic feeling. And these doors are made of ornate looking iron or stone. It's kind of hard to tell. They look both smooth and porous somehow. Maybe like a strange melted metal that has like the little pits of imperfections in it. And you see occasionally those little bursts of negative energy once again coursing through the walls, going from one side to the other, sounding still like those somewhat screechy lightning. But you are here.
Anyone have a particular preference for a door?
Is there
Well, so-
anything that we can actually rule out, or is we kind of just
As you look looking directly in front of you, there is one that's kind of directly in front of the platform, and then the one that is in the corner where the walls meet.
I for one am going to be back in a moment.
Well, actually,
That was dramatic.
Renan, before you leave, your ears perk up. You're not alone in this room. You can't be surprised. And that's where we're gonna go to break. Yeah, that way we can go to break real quick, and then also I can get my map cam set up so you can see where you're at. But
Yay.
don't go anywhere because we will be right back after these messages, or just after this break. Dum.
Oh no, and Sonder died.
Oh no, Sonder. Okay, so
I'm gonna miss him most of all.
sometimes I can almost hear his voice, or that of his puppet, or that of the pupper. All right, so Renan, as everyone is kind of looking about the room.
Oh,
Let me start the map cam.
Ooh.
Like trying to keep it under my breath. I'm going to be, loud whispering to the party. We're not alone in here.
Yeah, I'll
And
give a glance to Atet and then the rest of the party and rise.
Well, how just fucking convenient. We get the rest, but now, and I'm like looking around, readying firebolt for when I see something hostile.
pretty much doing the same with Eldritch Blast, but less about I'm going to attack it and more pointed out to everyone else by shooting at it. Tracer rounds. Concentrate
Yeah.
fire there.
All right. Looking about. Who wants? You can make perception checks if you want to kind of peek around.
nope. Nope.
22.
22
One.
as well.
I got a roll of
Hey!
1.
What do our elf eyes see?
All right. Let's see. What did you
See
get?
anything
Failure
in
of your
here?
companions.
What'd you say, Renan?
22.
22.
And Kindred got a 22 as well.
And Ardrin?
14.
14. Soul?
15.
15.
Billy
Isra?
was still hung up on Oreo.
Yeah. You're just you just have your face buried into her fur.
Iskra rolled a 1, so hopefully Atet could find something for her.
Nice. All right. You looking about this area is it's in a weird space between dim light and darkness. Like there is a little bit of light that is coming from the occasional negative energy going through coursing through the rocks as you see so it does provide a little bit of light, but it is okay, you're not gonna do that right now. Just calm down.
I approve that song.
Yeah, I have it set for certain times. It goes, and so there's like this weird shifting light pattern in the room, but tons of shadow, and your eyes keep going up and around in the columns that keep moving and casting shadows of their own.
Glow, you
don't
want to
see-
light that lantern?
I pull it out and start lighting it.
And it's an all-encompassing light, right? What's the range on it?
30 and 30.
Yeah, I believe it was.
So
I'm just
60 feet
double-checking.
total.
Yeah, it's 30.
You lift it up.
Invisible creatures are also in objects as well.
Yeah. You lift it up and kind of cast. What is the color? What would you say is the coloration of this light? I'm gonna let you. Like, is it like a white light, yellow light, green light? What is it?
Very, very light blue.
All right. As it casts this light around you and about the space, looking down and around. You see the doors here and here. You're looking and looking and looking. You don't see anything. And you lift it up. And as your eyes go up, posted in the two top corners are two shadowy figures, hands and feet touching the corners, looking down, and the only reason that you see them is because the light from your lantern, as they were invisible. And they don't
fire?
move. Up to you.
If I see them, I'm firing.
All right. The firebolt flies up into the corner, and you see one of them, the one who say either left side or right side, whichever one.
Whichever one I'm closer to. So
you're basically in the center.
Okay, left.
So left side, the one on the left side where you see the firebolt going towards.
I rolled a 19. No.
His mouth elongates into a, and I need everyone to roll initiative.
Hey, go us taking the surprise round away though.
Rolled a 19 plus 9. So does that hit?
Yes. We'll get to that in just a second.
Ooh.
As we start this intensity.
Tell me when to roll.
Okay. Go ahead and roll for it. Roll that initiative, baby.
Rolled
I
a
already
19.
did.
13.
13, yeah, popped up. 19, you said, Kindred?
Yes.
Iskra, what did you roll?
15.
15? Soul. Sonder, I need you to roll initiative.
I rolled a 12.
12? Alright, cool. Renan.
10.
10? Wow, I'm surprised.
I have a +9 to initiative.
Oh no.
Amazing.
Better on initiative.
You were so focused on finding them, you forgot to act.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did
We'll
mine
say-
populate or?
Yes, yours populated. Yeah, you are the top of the round. So congratulations to you. All right, I'm gonna set this up here as we have this person in the top corner, and then I'm gonna take these two and put it in this corner, and then move the camera so it's not focused directly. Right there.
I am gonna hit them. Sorry, if you're ready.
Yeah. Yes. Go for it.
I'm gonna hit them with fairy fire.
Wait, did your Eldritch
you were
Flash
all-
go off?
Yeah, because you were holding Eldritch. You were holding Eldritch Blast first.
Oh, yeah, fair enough. We'll do that.
Well, does that go off kind of in surprise round with my firebolt, or you got plans?
I wouldn't say it's necessarily a surprise round as much as it was just reactionary to see.
It just wasn't a surprise round on us, I think.
Correct.
Okay,
He
cool.
stopped there.
Just checking.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'll
so
do the Eldritch Blast then. since
this
that's
one
right.
will be the one on this side will be the one that you hit Kindred, and then this one over here will be the one that
I'll hit the other one then if it's, or no, I'll go to the same one because I probably would have been like the mentality of focus fire.
Okay, so all of them on this one over here?
Yeah.
All right. So wheat. So Kindred's yours. You rolled a 19.
Plus 9.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Arjun, what is yours? What did you roll on yours?
15, 14. Ugh. 15. Oh my! I have a plus 12.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, that's garbage.
So here's this this kind of checks out. The first one, Kindred, you hit him as he wasn't expecting to be able to be seen. That blast of fire that goes across his body, boof, starts to like, you see the little fire light up the room, and then as you fire off those 3 bolts of eldritch blast, zoop, 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 you see him start to like scuttle and move in these really slightly faster than humanly possible kind of shifting ways. So he dodges those 3 attacks, even though they're like right close to where he's at. But we'll say that because those were reactionary, Ardrin, you are the top of the round, and then Kindred, you actually follow up. So there you go.
Okay, so we do kind of get a surprise-ish round.
Yeah, why not? I mean, unless you want to count that. I mean, because you guys were both there, we can like, you know.
Do you want the damage for my?
Yes, please.
Okay. Really awesome damage. 28.
28 damage. Cool.
I mean, I would like the chance to go again, but let's just keep it moving.
Okay.
You said we're getting a surprise round, so I don't want to take that away.
All right. So then, do you want to move anywhere, Arjun? You are currently here on the platform. I'm gonna try and keep him in line of sight.
I am. I don't want to, because it's a flush surface, right? The platform and the level that we rose to, like the.
Yes, it's completely flat. Yeah.
Okay, I want to get away from there and try and use one of the pillars as cover. Yeah.
Sure. You want to go to the side over here somewhere?
The middle pillar, yeah.
This one.
Towards the thing off camera that you're not trying to show.
Oh yeah, all my minis over here. Yeah.
Yeah.
So over
that
to
works.
The side.
Just trying to use it as proper cover, if that helps.
Sure. All right, cool. Stay there then. Kindred. All right, go for it. What are you wanting to do with your move?
I'm gonna shift to where I'm kind of in the middle of everybody, and then looking around. We still see them? They just move fast as fuck.
That one moved fast as fuck. The other one, the only reason that they're visible right now is because Galil held the light lantern up.
Okay. So then I'm going to where's that? Move towards the center of everyone, and then just kind of like wave some signs, and then kind of push in myself, and then I like push out 3 other me, and I cast mirror image.
Nice. Alrighty. Move there. All right. Staying put then.
Well, I moved to the center of everybody. That way, I'm
right.
kind of
Well,
like,
I mean, other than that,
barrier
yeah.
Yep, that's my go.
All right. It is now the creature's turn. This one that you just attacked. Where's my measuring tool? What is? Okay. He is going to. Oh, actually, yeah. I forgot. He is going to go down and fly into this mess. As he flies down, he you literally see him leap from the wall, and he just kind of like whoosh flies down towards the center of the thing, and he brandishes this long sword with these jagged edges that run up the top, up the side, almost looks like the shark tooth, like what's it called, the sawfish kind of thing, where it has like the serrated edges. You see it looks like that as he pulls it out and starts to swipe. He's gonna make 3 attacks on you.
On who? Me?
On you, yes.
Okay. Rolls. Wait, or do I? Fuck, it's been a while since we were injured.
First attack is a 14.
Miss.
Second attack is a 25.
Might hit.
It'll attack one of the things, but
Well, that's what I'm rolling right now. Okay. I roll a d20. Okay, so the first one he hits a duplicate. Or the
Okay.
second attack he hits a duplicate.
And then his third attack is going to be a 16.
Miss.
All right. Whoosh, whoosh, you kind of do like a little bit of a dodge. You bring up an arcane shield, and when he brings up another stab to try and go through that arcane shield is revealed to be a
Switch places.
duplicate. Yeah, the duplicate, and it just kind of shatters. Wah! Poof, as it comes apart into a bunch of arcane mist, whoosh, and spreads apart like that. Then that is going to bring us to this guy's turn, as now these guys are no longer in the air. In the air. This one is going to have jumped down here and is going to engage with Ardrin. He's also brings out a rapier-like sword with this guy. It's going to be 18 for the first attack.
Oh, that'll hit. And that's always gonna have. I'm
nice.
just gonna disappear after that.
Nice. That is going to be just 9 points of piercing damage from that one attack. And then you are going. Where are you wanting to move?
I don't want to actually go too far, and I don't think I can. So I'm just gonna go on top of the more brick-like pillar, because that'll be the easiest to put Arjun on top of.
Oh, it doesn't matter.
Okay,
I have this stuff.
Silly putty.
I have the silly putties.
So just on top of that, which I don't think I'm gonna need the putty for that.
I'll still put it up there just in case. So you move up there. Whoosh.
And I am invisible. Sorry, it took 9?
9 points, yes.
Okay.
And you are invisible. As you bamf up there, you take that brief second to kind of like, well, I mean, let me, we're just going to leave it. Technically, these columns go all the way up to the ceiling. I don't have columns that go that high. So, but you know what? Fuck it. We're just going to leave it as is. They're broken pillars now.
Gravity's weird anyway.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. I will say, as you move up there, you do see him kind of like look around to where as he like swipes his second attack through nothing. He's gonna look around, and all of you hear a barely audible clicking sound as it kind of like bounces around the room, and you see him turn his head very slowly around. All right, that ends their turn. Iskra, you're up next.
All right. Who's close to me?
There is a dark paradely dressed character that is right in front of you, by you and Kindred.
Okay, being engaged in this sudden combat, she gets up on the balls of her feet and strikes at it, but not using water right now, just using the air. So as her hand goes forward, it kind of opens it like this at the end of it, and a jet of air flies out towards them and hits them.
Nice.
So I am using one of my special attacks. It's the one that, does like the 10-foot range for the strikes, but also does some additional damage if I want. So yeah, I'm gonna attack.
Mirror image isn't concentration.
Isn't concentration? Okay.
That's the beauty of it.
Perfect.
I love it.
Sorry.
No, you're good. What was the attack roll?
The first one I was a critical miss.
Oof.
But the second one was a 19.
Okay.
Okay, and then I'll take my bonus attack as well.
Nice. Do it.
And that was one shy of a critical hit, so I believe that's gonna hit.
Both of those hit.
Okay, cool. Groovy.
The fuck?
I will have empowered those strikes, so I'll do a little
Nice.
bit extra damage.
Heck yeah.
Okay. And when I say a little, I mean a little because I rolled super low.
No.
So
It all adds up.
yeah, I
Yeah.
guess so. That's a total of 17.
17 points of damage. All right. As you blast and you go poof, directly in his face, you see his head kind of get knocked sideways. You see that there were burn marks that were on his body from that flame, from the flame strike, the
Firebolt.
firebolt as it had gone through. But as he turns to your direction, you see some of those burn marks are starting to heal themselves.
Ooh. I'm gonna call that out to the party. It's healing.
Focus fire.
All right. All right. Is there anything else you want to do? Stay where you're at.
I already used my bonus action, so I think he's right there where I need to be to fight him. So I'm gonna stay where I'm at.
All right. Sounds cool. Galil, what you doing?
I'm gonna see the one that is literally right there, right in front of us.
Yep.
First off, Hunter's Market
Nice.
at second level.
All right.
And then I'm gonna. How far away is it from me?
We'll say it's probably about 20 feet.
20 feet? Okay, good. I'll use Chill Touch on it.
Nice. Distance? No, chill touch is already distance, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It's 120 feet.
It's one of those that like it says it's a touch in the name, but it's not a touch actually.
It's weird.
Yeah. Because that's the one where the cold hand like comes up, right?
Yeah, make
That
a
grabs them,
ranged spell attack.
and
Yeah.
then they can't regain health.
Mm-mm.
Hmm.
And if it's undead, it has disadvantage on attack rolls against me until the end of my next turn. If it's undead.
Got it. So make that attack roll.
Does a 17 hit?
17 just hits.
Wow.
Didn't mean to click that. Ignore.
3d8. $16 points
16
of
point.
necrotic.
Interesting. All right. As that cold, you see this bony hand that reaches up and like clasps its hand from the ground. It like looks down and snarls at it, and then looks up at you and just smiles. It's Okay. Yeah. All right, go for it. Anything else you want to do?
Negative. I'm just going to hold up the lantern even more and see if anything else.
And you now see that their coloration has changed. Now that they have attacked, they're no longer invisible. So they had been invisible up until a point, and now are no longer invisible.
Okay.
Okay. Now it is time to go to Sol. Sol, you are up next, and Renan, you're up after that.
Okay, so meaning I'm now I go, right?
Yes, it's your turn now.
Okay.
Unless Galil, you want to move. No movement,
No,
right?
that's it.
Okay, cool. Sol, it is all yours.
Woo. Okie dokie. I'm going to move up behind Kindred
Okay.
Is Kindred adjacent to that enemy?
Kindred
Or
is
there
like
space
it,
between?
there's kind of. I mean, I didn't move them because there's no real squares or whatever, but he's basically between you and the enemy.
Okay. I'm going to take out my whip. So I want to make
duck.
sure I'm within reach distance. of
Okay.
it.
Yeah. You should be within. I think you're within 15 feet right now, or 10 feet. I think something.
So then
We'll just say yes.
Okay. So I'm gonna attack roll it.
Make those attack rolls.
That's an unnatural 20.
Hits.
And I'm gonna do the damage first. 1d4, which is 4 plus 4. So that is 8 damage, 8 slashing. And
Perfect.
then I just noticed something. Aren't whips usually piercing, or are they slashing? I think it's
slashing. I think.
Slash.
And then because it has another ally next to it, I'm also going to get the sneak attack bonus.
Yeah, I mean, you got three. You got 3 allies next to it because Saunders on one side and.
So then I'll roll for sneak attack times 3. I'm kidding.
yeah.
Really cool.
Awesome. Which does another 10 damage. So 18 damage total.
All right.
And if it is still up and at him,
Mhm.
I'm going to try to apply that fairy fire effect.
Okay.
It needs to make a dexterity saving throw.
Dex save. That is going to be a 27 total as it rolled a natural 20 on its dex save.
Okay, I'm not even sure what it has to beat, but I'm pretty sure it beats that.
That's fair.
As the blast from that whip goes out and tries to like smack it, you see it does this weird like matrixy kind of like shift to one side, and that burst of magic fairy fire goes outward like a quick fire of rainbow energy just goes poof, out past it.
Rainbows. Yep.
They had a Bud Light.
I just
Then-
imagine like when you see. Oh, go ahead.
No, that's fine. That is all I'm gonna do.
Alrighty, cool. Staying put where you're at.
Yeah.
All right, Renan, what are you doing?
I am going to draw Dragon's Wrath blade
Okay.
and
We're lagging. Can y'all hear us and see us?
Oh, it is red.
Yep.
Oh, give me a second. Give me a second. It's got to think about what it's doing.
Yeah, I was
go
gonna say,
ahead. I can
imagine,
still,
like,
I can still hear you though.
The creatures when they like spit out light.
Yep.
Okay.
It's gonna
Yeah.
crash in a
Music
second now,
web.
though.
Let's see.
Oh, nope, there we go.
Eh?
If you want, you can turn off music to try to help for a little bit.
Yeah, I don't even know if it wasn't. I mean, it doesn't do it when I was playing music earlier. We're good now. It's back to green. Hey. All right.
Alright. So I will draw the Dragon's Wrath blade and lunge forward at the one that's, well, right there in the middle of the group. And I will make the attack roll with it.
Sweet. I will say you have advantage because it is surrounded by. No.
Alright, I mean, chances are I think I hit it for that one, but
Go for the critical.
there was a chance of a critical. It wasn't. But so that's a 27.
27 hits.
And with that, it also needs to make a dexterity saving throw.
Ooh. Perfect. That's going to be a 23. And
Actually, no, it's not. I apologize. That's the other ability.
Okay.
Different thing. So no, I'm sorry you wasted the 20.
No, it's fine because when you stab it through the back with this hit, go ahead and roll your damage.
So 10 plus 8 plus 5, so it takes 8 thunder damage, 5 cold damage, and 10 piercing damage as I drive the blade in.
Cool. As you strike it, and that last like stab, it lets out this like yowling hiss and becomes smoke and disappears for a brief second before it reappears behind Soul. It's now over here.
All right, straighten up, gang.
Posture check.
Got a
Thanks.
combat posture check.
Can we get a ban on whoever did that?
Nah, I love the posture check.
Yeah.
And with
Keeps me
that,
limber.
I am going to go up. I guess like 15 feet and over enough to where I can make a line of sight to where the one is that's over by Ardrin, closer to Ardrin. And then
okay.
if I'm going up, then I should be able to have ended up making a line of sight to the one that poofed.
Yeah, you can kind of, because this one over here is still behind it. So like you don't really, you can kind of see it, but you would need to move closer towards the camera to be able to see it, if you want to do that.
Yeah,
Aaron?
go ahead and do that.
Would you say that he's obfuscated?
You know what? I'm not using that word anymore. It's been I've kicked it out of my vocabulary.
Obfuscation is a good word.
All right. Anything else?
No, and that will make my turn.
All right. Cool. Sonder, it is now your turn. Puppet Daddy.
I'm gonna. I spilled soup all over the fridge and floor. That's why I was late, and I just apologize for that.
You're fine.
And then my dog, my dog like screams bloody murder if I'm not near him.
Yeah.
So I also apologize about that.
You're fine.
Everything's good now. Okay.
That's what happens when you get a beagle.
Right. Yeah. Seeing the one that Shadow poofed away to Soul, I'm gonna run over there and make some strikes.
Sure. We'll say you run over here next to him.
Okay, 21 to hit on
That
the
hit?
first one.
That hits.
It's gonna be 10 points of damage.
How would you like to do this?
Nice.
Well, okay. We'll go ahead and seeing him poof and like as his shadowy spirit like goes towards Soul, I'll sneak behind, and as he appears again, I'm gonna like crack him on the neck, and that should make him go limp if that's what he does.
Sure. You crack him on the neck, and he goes limp to the ground, and then it explodes into fire and ash, and it like scatters everywhere. It's like almost like a firework going off. It goes, and it doesn't cause any damage, but it is definitely kind of startling as it is a very violent, like sudden. Make a history check for me.
I would say nothing happens when my arcane shield like flares up just out of reaction.
Right.
Not good. 7.
Okay, never mind. You're fine.
You know.
But I will yell out
Totally
that he
new.
blew up.
Well, everybody saw it. Maybe Soul did it
Okay,
because he
all
just
right.
for Soul from Soul and Kendra's perspective, you see the black smoke go whoosh towards you and like past you, and so you have that momentary
where did it go?
jerk reaction of like because you see this like swirling like misty step of blackness that goes straight to and through and around your bodies. It just goes bzz, and you felt the presence behind you, Soul, just for that split second. You felt
And then a blue
a hand on your shoulder starting to pull you back and downwards, like someone was going in, like a presence right behind your neck. And then Soul, you saw the quick movement of Sonder as he almost kept pace with that like movement, and appeared just behind him as well, grabbed him, and you felt the hand slip from your shoulder, and then the sickening crack, and then the poosh, a flash of light coming from behind you.
Got you.
Nice.
Do I see any other enemies around? That guy with the sword?
You do see the one on the other side over here now. Galil, you are able to see this in the same time. You make a history check for me. While you're doing that, Sonder, what are you wanting to? You still have, I'll say you probably use like 20 feet of movement or 25 feet of movement, probably from where you were at to there. Yeah, it's 25
18.
feet of movement. 18. Okay. You still have what? 35 feet of movement. 35.
Yeah. Is it the guy on top and then the one with the sword and at the pillar?
There's just one
Or
person
just
over
the-
here.
Yeah, the
This
one on
is
top is Arjun.
that's Renan, and
Okay,
then
gotcha.
Arjun's up there.
All right, then I'll turn around and go for that guy.
You should. Yeah, you have enough. You can definitely go up there. This guy's gone. You're gonna
Okay.
run
And then,
up to this guy.
And
but then that is a
Kool-Aid Man's through the pillar.
Oh yeah.
Brick goes everywhere.
welcome to stuff again. That's a natural 20 to hit,
Also hits, definitely.
and that's gonna be 15 points of damage.
All right, cool. I love the music change.
And then we'll do some draconic strikes. 24 to hit.
24 hits. What's up, Raiders? Welcome, Retro Archetype. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
And using a key point, I'm going to do the flurry of blows, making that double hit. That
Yeah.
second strike is also a nat 20. So it
Nice.
goes to... What's it?
Sonder going for MVP of the fight, I see. Nice.
He's gonna go for the strike with his staff, distracting him, and then using his foot to like slide under the guy, and then palm like on his chest, just kind of like pushes him into the ground, cracking it a bit as he does so with the key point. 17 points of damage, and then the second strike,
The
just to the
fucking
face.
music
Kill the
right
skill
now.
soundtrack for this, really.
Great. Perfect.
So that one will be another 12 points of damage, and that'll be his turn.
All right. You see this like as this guy gets beat to crap. All of these attacks going through. You have this well played, Retro. Well played.
All of the powers of anime.
The power of Bahamut and anime on my side. All right. So as you do this, it had just turned its attention back in the direction of that burst. You see its eyes alight as you come in and start wailing on it. Galil, you have seen this kind of a reaction to the explosion before. And I would say the only reason that I didn't have like Kindred or Iskra roll it was because you're kind of like everything was happening all at once, but you being this close to that happening, Galil, it reminds you of the creatures that you had fought in Silver Moon. The
Everything from Silver Moon.
Yeah, the Magen from Silver Moon, whenever they would die, they would burst like this in a similar fashion. Your mind goes to the mannequin-like dolls that you guys had found in another part of this dungeon. But as we continue from that to the top of the round, Ardrin, you just saw Sonder lay the smackdown on this creature. You saw the other one explode on the platform after Sonder just like exploded it. He exploded it. It went boom.
So Sonder is currently introducing him to Sam Bouge, and bonus points to anybody who gets that reference. I'm currently invisible. Would this count as advantage if I'm shooting at this thing with Eldritch Blast?
Because it's not necessarily like super flanking, but yeah, for sure.
Well, that's great because that first one was that's a natural 20. We'll come back to that in a second.
See what happens when y'all get a long rest. You're
now,
welcome.
Since I'm only casting this once, is it advantage for all three?
Is it 3 separate attacks?
It is, but I'm only casting it the once. It's not like it's not like with a like multi-attack where I hit and then that changes the dynamic. I don't know, it's weird. I guess the first one,
decision.
I'll just leave it, make it simple.
Okay. I honestly don't know.
Let's make it simple. 29 for the second.
That's for sure.
And dirty 20 for the third.
Also hits.
Okay. Crit damage. 22 for the first. So all three hit? Yeah.
Yep.
Nice.
36 in total.
36 damage total.
And 47 total of force damage.
How would you like to do this? Because he had 46 health points left after all of that. And he had not... We had not come to his turn to where he could have started to regenerate. So
I want to just be just getting pummeled by Sonder, and he's trying to react his arms. I just want the first blast to delete the arms. Second one deletes the leg so that he drops down onto the stumpy knees, where Sonder gets to just give him the old was it the blazing flurry to the solar plexus joke? I don't know if anybody knows that.
Nope, but I love it.
In combination,
just sing.
he just
So
bursts.
Nice.
Red powder and goo and dust and whatever else he's doing.
Yeah, as soon as he hits the ground in that last level, you just hear there's a momentary pause where Sonder, like right before your eyes, you see his eyes kind of disconnect. It's almost like you watch someone like in the sci-fi movies when the android shuts down but the eyes still stay open, but you can tell that there's just like it's not present anymore. That's literally what happens, and then it just goes and it blows up.
Does it make that sound?
Yes.
Does it go? Whoa?
It makes the sound your puppy made earlier.
No, sadness. But yeah, it is now gone. It is deleted, as you said earlier. You guys scan the room quickly, looking around for any further threats. But at the moment, you see none.
Are we joining the center?
Archon's gonna use his vantage point to kind of just peer around for anything else.
Okay.
Are their bodies still there, or did they like
They're
disintegrate? Gone. Okay, nothing
I
sticks
will-
around.
Andrew, did you see that?
See what?
The whole room.
when they bursted into flames,
Yeah, they explode like big flashbang.
like the wizards in Silver Moon.
Oh shit! Yeah.
And now
You mean the flying
hearing,
guys?
yeah, I was like, now hearing you guys say this, I guess everyone except for Ardren would kind of remember this.
It's still alive. Kill it. No.
Popper, Popper. I love it.
I had a hunter's mark on it, so I would know if it's dead.
Oh yeah, it's not there anymore.
Just making sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
No surprises, Aaron.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, good thing I told you to light the lantern.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna turn it off right now to save the oil.
Save battery. No.
Yeah.
Well, we still got a door to pick, so eeny, meeny, miny. That one.
Might as well.
We don't have any information that's as good as any.
Wait, let me just make sure they're not
Warded or
they and shit.
Yeah. I'm gonna pull out my rapier and cast light on it.
Okay, a little excessive, but you do you. And I'm gonna put my Thay-bands on first because last time I did this, I got blinded pretty much by all the fucking magic. And then I'm gonna just cast a detect magic.
Okay. Which door are you going for? The one directly in front of the platform or the one in the corner of
I'm
the
just
room?
standing back and looking. Oh, because they're
Choose
not next
the-
to each other, right?
Nope.
Can I get to a spot where I'm within 30 feet of them both? If not, I'll just like go to one
Yeah.
and then look at the other and see.
That's 30 feet there. Yeah, you can do that. That's easy enough. Stay
Okay.
kind of in the middle and look at both of them.
I do so.
But we'll say for simplicity's sake, you'll go to one and then the other. But as you're looking them over,
Okay.
the doors don't appear magical.
They don't appear magical.
There is definitely the magic that's exuding from the walls. Especially when those little bursts of energy continue to fly through the tracks that they have, right? But other than that,
Is there
you
like a
don't
lock or like what's the handle situation?
there is no handle. They just look like doors with no handle or bar or lever to them.
Maybe it's a word.
Oh, we could just try pushing on it. I
If
walked
not-
up near Kindred and May I?
One sec. Kind of. We go like 10 feet back and mage hand push.
says pool on it.
Damn it.
of course.
Which
Oh.
door? Which door are you going for? Center or the corner?
Take your pick, Kesker. You pick one. It doesn't matter to me.
Should probably get out
Um,
of the way of the door too.
Let's go left.
So this one over here,
So I think the corner.
the corner. Yeah. Okay. So we'll see you guys are over there.
That's in the
Um,
corner.
It has a hallway attached to it. Look.
Well, okay. I started to draw it, and I was like, "Where am I going to go from there?" So,
The other one's a trap.
hold on. Let me do this.
I see they chose this way, so go to page 410.
Yeah, I know. It's a
Yay.
choose your own Goosebumps adventure.
I used to love those
The
books.
push with the mage hand doesn't seem to do anything.
Okay, you're way stronger than my hand. You want to go for it now?
Sure. I'll go up and give it a push.
You push, and it feels solid. It doesn't move or budge in one direction or the other. Make a investigation check for me.
You know I will.
Can I do so as well since seeing her push does nothing?
I'm gonna go up to it and wait for them.
26. I rolled very high. And I have good
26.
investigation.
You looking this up and down, and you feel the way it's very solidly in place. You kind of look to the left and right of it. No. And you slide it. And it starts to shift and move from as it kind of rolls. It doesn't like not like it's a whole circle kind of roll, but it just kind of shifts a
Like the
little
sliding
bit.
glass door.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
like it just kind of starts to move as you slide it over to the side, and then within, you see a small chamber. At least with the very dim light that's in here, this looks like a smaller room.
Galil,
Good
you
thing
want to
I'm
throw your
radiating
rapier?
light.
I'm
throw
gonna
the
go
rapier.
ahead and just use my casting light, taking some water from my canteen, letting it drip over my knuckles, and then onto the surrounding area, mostly onto like my clothing at this point. So the little beads of bioluminescent light adhere to me rather than a particular location.
Cool. I would even say hesitate to flavor it like if you so wanted because of casting of light. You could even have these little globules kind of hovering around your hand.
I've always in the
Down
past
on the
they've
skin,
always
yeah.
stuck to the thing that I'm casting light on. So
Okay, sounds good. You cast light into this space, and it is about it goes back about 30 feet, and there's like a little 10-foot entryway, and then this room is a very small square of like 20 by 20. Within it, there are 6 boxes lined up against the wall. Interestingly enough, they almost appear like coffins. Pulses of green negative energy crackle through the room. From the outside where you were at, it kind of pulses along the wall inside and then seems to follow invisible pathways away from the wall. As you see the energy goes
Like on the grid room.
kind of.
s-
Almost like like those tendrils. It almost kind of does that when it passes through. It's not a continual tether. It just when it flashes through the room, it like seems to follow an invisible line that kind of like traces into the tops of these
And then
coffin-like
just
places.
at first peering in, do I see anything extra with my detect magic?
So much necrotic energy flows through this room.
Okay, so let's hold the fuck up because there's a lot of dead energy.
You see
staying right
4.
here.
You see 4 of the boxes are open, and indeed they do look like coffins.
Am I close enough to be able to see what's inside them?
Yeah, it's basically empty. There's like a little bit of what looks like maybe some soft padding on either side.
Galil, how many times can you make light?
How many times?
Or like, can't you do multiple instances?
I mean,
the room is lit now because of
the
Isra's
room's
light.
lit.
Because
Oh, I
of
thought it was
Isra's
like a
light.
tunnel and then like.
It's just
She has light. I have light.
Yeah, there's plenty of light in here now.
Okay, I just didn't
It's a
want to go
vibe.
in there yet with all this necrotic shit.
Arjun, what were you gonna say?
I'm not in the room. I'm purposely keeping an eye on the hallway, making sure that there's nothing else about to show up.
Okay. There's no other, aside from the other door, there's no other like entrance or exit from this place, it looks like.
So then how far away are the coffins?
From the entrance, probably like 10 feet.
Okay, mage hand to just kind of like move about, like poke it.
Nothing happens.
Anything? Is there anything in there that we can see?
In the open ones, no. There's 2 that are closed.
I'm gonna go in there.
Any markings on them?
You'd have to get inside to look.
I'm going in there.
Okay. And walking inside the room, it is a very simple space. The only things that are in here are these 6 coffin-like things, and 4 of them are open. 2 of them are closed, and all 6 of them have, whenever the energy goes through, that has the energy that pours into the top of the casket looking thing and doesn't seem to go anywhere else beyond that.
But they're empty. The 4 that are open.
or are empty?
I'm just overviewing the 4 that are open, just making sure that they are completely empty, and then go to the one to the left of it.
There's 2. Yeah, there's the 2. We'll say there's 2 in the back corner.
I'm gonna go up to one of them.
I'm standing outside the doorway.
You guys
watching
ready?
it.
Sure.
Sure.
I'll get ready to help out and pull it open with him.
I'll be there.
Alrighty.
Ready
I
to
start
put
pushing it open.
You try and push, and you find that there's not really anything for it to push against, but it kind of has a hinge that allows you to put your fingers around the edge, and it opens. This metallic, like, sound of almost it's just on the cusp of starting to sound rusted. It's not quite that loud, ear-piercing squeal or anything, but it's just enough to be slightly disturbing.
Like, it's enough
So,
to know that it
ridiculous.
needs WD-40.
Yeah, it's gonna need it soon. You open the door, and on the inside is a skeleton. You see green waves of necrotic energy coursing through it like veins that don't exist. Parts of its lower limbs don't even look like they've fully formed yet.
What do you see?
It's a skeleton. I'm gonna.
But with every pulse that comes through the top, you see it spread across the body, like, and once it reaches the furthest bottom part, you see it start to grow a little bit more. The bone expanding forward until the next pulse comes through, and then it goes.
These are some kind of growing chambers. I don't think this is good.
No.
Can I cautiously make my way towards him and then do an Arcana check to see if this is like a clone situation spell or
Right.
whatever the case may be?
Make an Arcana check for me.
1 second. Let me put my other glasses on.
Switch them from one to the other.
Mm-hmm.
Can I tell if it's humanoid or
It looks humanoid.
race-wise?
Make a
Okay,
nature
guys.
or history check for me.
I don't know what the deal was because we got a long rest, but that was a nat 20 on my second roll. So total of 29.
29. All right. Oh, what'd you get, Galil?
For history?
Yep, history or nature, either one of those.
Okay.
Or no,
good.
like Yeah, I'd say investigation or nature.
Investigation?
Yeah. 'Cause
Investigation is okay. Dirty 20 then.
it looks humanoid. There's no flesh, sinew. It's basically bone with this like webbing of vein that goes through it, like as it's like feeding energy into it. But the skull has been formed, and you see that there are 2 very long teeth in its mouth. Kindred, as you were looking over this is not. There are no runes here. Whatever is reforming this just seems to be absorbing the necrotic energy that is passing and going through these walls and using it to energize whatever this coffin is reconstituting. But there are 2, well, 1 still closed coffin. And this thing looks like it's still at the pace that you see it growing, and even with your passive investigation, this just recently started growing.
Do you think we ought to grab it out of there or destroy it or
Right.
something?
I think so.
Yeah, like the cord attached to it. Is it like, can we pull the plug on this bitch and like,
That's the thing, there is no cord. It's like the energy comes from the wall itself and somehow magically goes into this coffin.
I'm gonna smash the side of the coffin
Okay.
with my
wait,
staff.
Make an attack check on it. Make an attack roll on it, please.
While he's doing that, I'm gonna go open up the other one.
Okay. Opening up the
I
other
think-
one, you see
Get
an exact replica of what you just saw. 2 of these creatures seem to be regrowing themselves. One looks a little further along, but not by much, than the other one.
And
Yes.
looking at these creatures, do they give off a certain aura of magic, like undead or anything? Looking at them,
Can you detect undead with the detect
I
magic?
can see any magic in any school it's relating to.
Can't detect undead, but you can detect the necrotic magic that is at work here.
So
I would say.
okay. So then I guess that would be my question. Like, is there like a necrotic
Yeah,
aura coming
there's-
from? Okay.
I mean, it's the same that's passing through the walls. It's the same kind of aura.
Okay. Yeah,
So
around
big is
around any visible creature or object in the air that bears magic, and you learn at school, if any. It's like, yeah,
What were you gonna say, Arjun?
How big is this room?
20 by 20.
you're gonna do it, aren't you?
So, no, I have a thought. I got something we can try if we want to just really ruin this room and anything in it. If everyone would like to step out,
Looking about, are there any like anything else other than these coffins? Like,
Mm-mm. It's
It's
just
just coffins.
it's just this room. There's no light fixtures or
It's-
anything to it. It's just a small little square of a room.
I like Graham's idea. I think that would be good.
the hell's Graham when they get here?
Sorry, Arjun's.
so yeah, just take one final like quick look, and then I'll like kind of come out the room.
Yeah.
Did the staff do anything?
Not besides resound off the metallic and stone nature of the coffin. They're not made of wood. They are. It kind of rings like you hit metal on metal.
Adamantine on
It might.
adamantine?
Yeah. It just. No, but it's whatever
It's
kind
magically
of metal.
enforced.
Whatever kind of metal it is, it doesn't like break easily. It looks like maybe if you continue to wail on it with it, it would probably start to damage it. But just from the one hit, it dented
That's
it,
fine.
but not like hardcore.
Let's open the other coffin so that
Yeah, he
that's
did.
what I was
We
gonna
just
say.
did.
Yeah, he
Okay.
did. So they're both, and you see both skeletons reconstituting themselves. And it's not like the pulses come like once every 5 to 10 seconds. They're not exactly like repeating super fast, but with each pulse, you see it grows probably another inch or two of bone. And by this point, we'll say that the bone is now completely done, and you can start to see kind of from the bone what looks like flesh or some sort of ooze is starting to like spread from the bone.
It's like
you go,
Necro
get out.
Westworld.
Yeah.
All right, if you want to help me close the door, and right as we
Wait.
start to
Close it on them. Okay.
close the room door, because
Okay.
I'll help.
and as it starts to close and right as it gets to that last sliver, Arjun's going to cast Sickening Radiance in the center of the room, right above all of the caskets,
Oh,
and just
give it some
let
time.
that happen for a while.
Let it stew.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see what this is gonna do.
I can
Builds up
read
levels
it.
of exhaustion, and then once they get
30-foot radius from its center point. Light spreads around corners. Lasts until the spell ends, which is a concentration of 10 minutes. When a creature moves into the spell's area for the first time on a turn, starts its turn there, that creature must succeed on a con save or take 4d10 radiant and suffer 1 level of exhaustion. Cannot benefit from being invisible, and it will continue to get levels of exhaustion.
until they did.
Okay.
Oh,
Um.
Wait, go and
Interesting.
check that off first.
All right. You continue. Feel this energy pulse and pulse and pulse. Okay. How long are you wanting to stay here?
Let's give it a good 5 minutes for now.
I mean, I don't want to open it because it's a small room and it will kind of just float on out.
should we try the other room?
Let's do this one first. How big of an area is Sickening Radiance?
It
30
will-
foot sphere.
Bigger than that, actually, I think.
30-foot radius sphere.
30-foot radius.
Yeah.
So 60 feet across.
Well, if
Yeah.
you just center it on like the far edge of the wall there, it would only come out an extra 10 feet, right?
I guess. But I said it was above the caskets just to make sure it got them.
Okay.
And mind you, the caskets are like vertical up against the walls. They're
Oh,
not. They're
I
not laying
misunderstood. I
up.
thought they were kind of like I don't know why I was thinking
Oh.
morgue-like.
No,
So
they're,
yeah,
they're literally like laying up. They're up against
so
the
yeah, it would
walls.
have been centered so that it would hit them.
Okay.
So then after 5 minutes, can we crack the door and then I'll just take a peek in since detect magic, duh. And just see if there's any change in the room.
Sure. You don't see anything in the room at the moment. You see
Like all
the caskets are there still.
Do I still see like the necrotic aura coming off of them, or is that?
Oh yeah, that's going through the room entirely the whole time. It hasn't stopped.
But okay, so no change to like the skeletons.
I would say you probably don't see them right now. As if it's constantly doing 4d10 radiant damage. Here's the thing. They aren't fully creatures yet. They haven't been fully resurrected. So right now they're just reconstituting. So
Yeah.
Part of me wants to say nothing's happened to them. They're still growing, but it's still giving off this radiant damage, right? So it's just continually burning them away. So you don't see anything at the moment
It's
because
halting the regeneration.
basically.
Okay, what about the exhaustion?
I mean,
Or
like I said, yeah, you wouldn't. There was no way of knowing.
Okay. It looks like it's just halting the growth. Do you mind if I try something?
Yeah, I mean that was my idea.
I'm gonna wait till he like ends the spell.
I was actually I looked at everyone else to see if that's kind of where they're at too.
I think we have more pressing matters to get to. These are not the phylacteries.
Well, I don't want to be down there and then these things come after us, behind us.
Taken them out before.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, like I think I might be able to take one out now. Let me just try one thing.
Can't we just burn them?
That's what I'm gonna kind of do.
So as the spell ends, and you go back
I'm gonna go
inside once you go in there. There is no
and,
skeleton.
It's like resume back to like nothing.
There is nothing there.
But do I see like
and then the first pulse comes through, and you see the top of the skull go.
So
Pretty.
I'm gonna go up to one, stand about 5 feet back from it, and then just kind of like point to it, and I'm gonna cast Dispel Magic at 3rd level.
On what?
I'll say left.
No, but like
'Cause they're kinda like side by side.
The whole coffin.
On the body.
Okay, it doesn't have a target for you to latch that spell onto. I will say, because it is not the body is not the thing that is causing this to happen. It is an effect of the magic from the coffin. So I would say
So then
you,
with Detect
you
Magic,
evolved,
I would know that at least, right?
right? Yeah. So I would say you would know that this is an effect of the device that it is in. That it is kind of using this as a like reforming the bodies.
Okay, so then yeah, I target I guess the main source that I'm detecting.
Okay.
Do I roll?
Yes. How does
Because depending anything, so it's base, I cast it base level, so that's 3rd level. Anything below that automatically is dispelled. Anything higher than that, the DC is the level plus 10, and I have to try to make the DC. But unless you have some DM stuff that's different.
I'm looking it up right now.
For each spell of 4th level or higher on the target, make an ability check using my spell casting ability. The DC equals 10 plus the spell's level. On a successful check, the spell ends.
So then you do need to make a roll for me.
Wish me luck, guys. Spell- and then plus proficiency. 22.
It is enough. You cast dispel magic and you see that the tethers of necrotic energy that were pulsing out of the wall don't pulse over that one coffin anymore. When it just feeds into the other one, not at any increased rate or anything. It's just you've shut one of those things down.
And then
How many times can you do that? Because I can help.
a lot, but that's kind of tapping into my capabilities. Unless we want to take a short little rest, and then I can, recover pretty fast. But I mean,
Why don't we split the difference?
We could try breaking the coffin.
Does the
Sandra
source
just
look like
did.
the coffin? It came from the coffin, or like some other?
The magic seems to be coming as a
Coming from the walls.
Something
into the
else?
coming
coffin.
from the walls through the coffin as like a regenerator.
Yeah.
We're gonna go ahead, Iskra.
When that part of the conversation comes up, I'm gonna look to Atet and go, when you're cut off from something, how does that work for you? Like, are you able to reestablish a connection? Back home.
What do you mean? Like myself? Right now?
Well, no, but he just turned this thing off. Or so he says. There's no green energy flying into it anymore, and it's traveling through the walls, so, if something breaks, I know you were putting things back together a little bit at a time back at the city. Are you able to kind of bring it back, or would you need some assistance? I'm wondering if this place works like you do.
I guess it would depend. I don't sense that this has a mythalar like the city does. So, possibly not. But if I might make an observation, wherever this energy is coming from, it's feeding into these things, right?
Right.
And there are 4 empty, so that means there are at least 4 others that are somewhere else inside, and they
That
won't
is concerning.
reappear until we have defeated them, if those 2 were the ones that we just defeated.
Did
I
I-
would
Standing close to them. Or is like Iskra, are you in the room?
I mean, at this point, I'm just kind of standing outside of it.
And I was figuring I'd be kind of in a similar place. So, Atet, would you say that it could be beneficial if we were to break, at the very least, the other coffins? They're not in use. We might as well leave it so that there's nowhere for them to go.
possibly. It is a strange situation. I also would worry that they will be alerted to the fact that their homes are no longer. It might bring their attention here.
It may not be a bad thing.
True enough. I'm not over concerned about that part.
We're gonna
Arjun?
say, yeah, go for it.
So one of them is still trying to regenerate, at least,
Correct.
right?
Mm-hmm.
I am just gonna try and do a dispel magic on.
Wait,
that
before you
particular-
do, not saying you can't, it's just that's kind of my specialty.
All right.
pretty much because I can add my proficiency and a lot of other stuff to my ability for it,
Well, Andy can get you can get the spell slots back.
and that too.
I
He's
mean,
Oh,
like-
so
they
can
both
I, but all right.
they both can.
oh yeah,
Warlock.
you both get
Oh.
from my bad.
But I get a +9 to my roll, so.
You do you.
Hey, Soul, can you guide me real quick?
Yeah, of course. He goes and puts his hand on Kendra's back and sends in
Oh,
guidance.
Good job,
Uh,
son. You're doing the thing.
Are you
Yo,
winning?
winning, son.
so I'll do the same thing, base level.
Okay.
That's a D4, right?
Yes.
Okay. 15 plus 9, 24 plus the D4.
Well, that is enough.
And then I mean, they're both inactive. If y'all want to smash the shit out of these coffins just to, seal the deal.
I give it the old Eldritch Blast.
Mm. Okay. How long are you wanting to spend? How much time are you wanting to spend on doing
I want
damage
to
to
check
these?
on the other doors while these guys are doing that.
Sure.
I kind of do
I'll
too.
go with
I'll
you.
go over next
I'm going
to
with you.
Ardrin as and we can just be unleashing Eldritch Blast and a barrage.
I picture remember the very first Street Fighter game when you get to the bonus level where you have to destroy the car in 30 seconds? Like,
Alrighty.
Uh.
As you guys start unleashing all Eldritch Hell on the remaining 4 coffins, the rest of you go over to the next door, and Iskra, you try the same thing and shift the door over.
And I'll enlist the help of the other guys.
Nope. This hallway goes down a lot further than the last one. About 50 feet. It goes down as you walk into the next room.
Yeah, I think we
as well.
found the boss hallway.
The boss hallway.
Wait, does that mean do we find any conveniently placed healing items by chance? I'm just asking.
this-
you,
yeah,
friend.
it's you get connected to the thing.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
coffins.
Just,
I'll
just
just
go
jump in.
take a
Hop in the
sleep in the
coffin.
coffin for a while.
True.
Yeah, fine.
Yeah. I wonder if that'd work.
We'll cook what we're going.
Exactly. Ardrin
I tuned to it.
and Renan, it takes significant amounts of blasting, but you eventually do manage to start making some melted slag out of the metallic coffins that you guys had left behind.
Were these ones getting any pulses from the green?
Yes, but they weren't creating
Interesting.
anything.
Yeah.
They were just
So,
the
Are there still, after unleashing Eldritch Hell, are there still bolts of green going into them?
they're going into the area around it, but it doesn't seem as focused as it was. It kind of now is doing the little bit of like a
Like it's trying to find
yeah.
the point that it's supposed
It's
to
the
connect
coffin
to.
regenerating. No.
Well, more to that point, the other ones that were dispelled, is it kind of having the same thing where it's magic's trying to find it, or is there just nothing happening? There's no reaction.
The ones with
Those two.
the ones from the got dispelled, there is no reaction from the wall. The ones
But
that
there
got
is the one-
blasted, yeah, it's not like it's going down anymore. It's just kind of like blasting it. It's just curling out
it's
from the wall. It's
Wi-Fi
not-
trying to ping it.
Yeah, it's just trying to
Okay.
find whatever was there. So it's destroyed.
For my
but it's-
own peace of mind, I'm gonna hit it with a level 5 dispel, at least one,
Sure.
just to see if that changes the equation.
Go ahead and make a roll for me, if you will.
Let me go and hit that first. Does casting at level 5 change the equation though?
No.
So
Okay.
level 3.
Sorry, I'm rolling which thing again? It's
It's a D20, and then you add your spellcasting modifier to it.
Really?
Mhm.
Okay. If that's the case, then that's a 27.
Your just spell magic takes effect onto whatever arcane thing is here at work at one of the spots, and you don't see it reaching out from the wall anymore. And I would say at this point of like now having blasted this much, you do see that on the wall where it's kind of coming out, there was a little bit of there's a couple like a circular set of runes that were kind of lightly scratched into the stonework.
I am going to redirect the next barrage towards those.
Cool. For long hallway party, as you guys are entering into that space, you go down about 20 feet before you see on the far side of that wall another coffin. And then as you enter into this side room, as it kind of goes down and opens up to the right, there is a row of 5 more coffins.
Oh,
So
God.
5, and then
And all of them have doors closed.
Wait, like door, like shut coffins on them?
Yeah, like they're not
Like
open.
closed. Okay.
Yeah.
In an
Same
incredibly
coffin, though, right? Like, same type.
Yeah, same time.
low voice, super quiet, I'm gonna look at our crew. I feel like maybe speed and secrecy is the way here, because who knows how many more of these there are.
I agree.
On the opposite wall from this coffin, you see a table. It's kind of it looks slightly like a wooden simple table, almost like a dining table that's set up against the wall. And on it there are chains and shackles.
Inky.
If you approach and go deeper into
I
the
will.
room,
Yep.
you see that the chains and shackles are stained with red, long dried. A few piles of bones are left at the feet of these tables, well cleaned. Some even looked slightly gnawed on.
Ooh.
I mean, are any of us surprised?
I'm
Oh,
stealthing in this room.
Something eats.
Iskra,
Yeah.
there is a marking on one of the coffins. A clawed marking, scratched in a symbol on the front facing one. And not the other. The other ones have a couple of scratch or tear marks, or like claws that you would imagine like scraping across. This
I
one
do
look.
that head cock of recognition and kind of step up to it.
This can't be. This shouldn't be here. This reminds you of home. A symbol of a clan, a guild in Ravnica.
Go, Corey. Sorry.
No,
The name of it?
not the Golgari.
Oh, whew. They're good guys. I knew it.
Another
A clan, though.
of another vampire-like clan.
The Demir. Oh.
Yeah.
So,
It's crude, but it's very much the symbol of the Demir.
okay, so my other knight isn't here with me right now.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly where that portal took us, but this symbol is from where I'm from, and I don't mean Waterdeep.
Renan, what were you gonna say?
Um, if breaking or like hitting the runes makes the green stop, I'd be going towards the long hallway.
Before you destroy that, I would have just liked to. Can I examine that spell glyph circle or runes, or just to see if it says anything in particular?
Well, there are 4, so
Wherefore?
I can only send 3 bolts at a time.
So yeah,
if
Oh,
you
we
so
had,
say
each
if you
coffin
said
is
it,
connected to
yeah.
like that spell circle in the wall.
it's got each one has its own thing.
Okay, can I read it? Does it tell me what it is? Anything like that? Owner's manual.
Make an Arcana check for me.
Did it stop the green?
It took some work, but yes, we'll say.
Okay.
That is a 27. Roll to 18.
This is not Arcana that you are familiar with. These are symbols that you have never seen before. They are arranged in a spell circle, yes, but they are not arranged. They are not symbols that you know. You can make a
This-
note of it and see what.
This
Oh, yeah, I was about to
spell
say,
work is
I
just out of this world.
shut up. No, I at least write them down that way. I can later on. But yeah, take notes
Say
of that.
so right currently then we have Kindred, Ardrin, and Renan. You're in the smaller room. Sonder, Sol, Iskra, and Galil, you are in this other larger room. What are you continuing to do?
Going to explain to these guys, pointing out this symbol.
So,
When I first started on all of this journey to you all, I fought something, a vampire on top of a cathedral. He belonged to this group of people, the ones who own this symbol. I don't know how it would have traveled across planes to be here, or if we have. But to see this here, it loops back around, and it's shaking me.
Iskra, your mind starts going to your fight just now with these creatures. And you fought the vampire when you first got here, right? That was another one of the things that you would when you guys first arrived on the platform. I don't remember if you
Yes.
engaged with it or not. I think you did. I feel like you engaged with it enough.
Yeah, I did.
You realize that these creatures you'd been fighting, while not dressed like Dramir, or not dressed like Thayans either, it was like this weird amalgamation of the two. And you remember from enough time spent on Ravnica that the vampires of Ravnica don't operate a lot on the same terms. Like, just depending on their origins, they don't always follow the same rules as some of the creatures that you have heard of vampires in this realm. And you've spent enough time to know the stories here of like these sort of things. But now it kind of starts to make sense why they are different than what is expected, why the clothing kind of looked familiar to a degree. I'm just curious.
In fact, more than just the symbol, I think what we've fought, the people that have come out of these coffins, they have some deep connection to my home.
mm.
About this time to kind of finish up the copying.
Sure.
And then come out and go to the other side and, hey, what's up, guys? Get filled in. And then I
And I would've-
immediately reach in my pockets and pull out that little what was it? A sigil that the vampire when we first got into Kalashandra had, and show it to Iskra. Is this part of it too?
It is a symbol of the Dramir.
Yes.
What is it? I'm assuming you explained to me.
Yeah, I'm.
Would I
We'll
be
say,
down
yeah.
at about that time?
You know,
Yeah.
I would have explained that there's guilds that rule
Mhm.
Ravnica and all that
Blah blah
long
blah.
ago.
Ravnica.
So
Aliens.
Yeah, I will say that Ardrin and Renan, you feel sufficiently confident in your having erased this room from functional existence.
And then see
On
this
the
other
way
room
out, just
just
Yeah.
Then you see a line of 5 other coffins.
Well, round 2.
as we're walking into the room, I'm kind of like dusting off anything from my hands, and I look up and I look at Iskra. So what did we miss?
Faye's designs for everywhere reach much further than we could have feared. It's not just Faerun.
Could I see if I can, if the symbol of the cross is anywhere in this room as well?
Sure, make an investigation check. You also see that at the edge of this room is a hallway with no door that seems to open up into a cavern beyond.
20.
20? Mm-mm. You don't see any symbols of the cross anywhere? Or the eye? I don't know how much of the
eye that we had
cross.
seen
Yeah.
before. Yeah, that we know about.
That being said, that was if Iskra kind of filled in the same thing she was telling to everyone else.
Same.
Looking at the coffin, I would say to her, so do you think that the cross are getting involved in Thayan politics? More
I
so
think
than the ones we've met, anyway.
I think we can assume that much. That or something about this place has let the Thayans find other worlds themselves. I mean,
Well, I mean, it's. I mean, not. Don't want to say it's not that hard, but high level magic, and I'm sure they have high level magic.
Arjun, what were you
and
gonna say?
when we came
sorry.
here, it didn't feel right either. I mean, none of us thought so, right?
Well, isn't this a different world as it is?
It felt like plane shifting. But until now, I hadn't considered that we could be on another world, or Iskra, we could be somewhere similar to the Bastion.
Arjun, what were you gonna say?
Well,
What's the best?
Renan just kind of shoos Saunders' question away.
do we know if there's if these caskets are occupied at the moment? Because maybe we should be having this conversation a little bit elsewhere.
You have not checked. All the doors are closed on them, or
I've
the
said
lids are
everything
on.
I need to at this point.
Always try chaining them shut rather than opening them and risking waking up what could be inside.
Let's just move on.
Can I just make
what do
one
y'all-
suggestion? It's time consuming, but I feel it would be worth. Like, how far apart are each of these coffins? Like,
About 10 feet each.
oh, so
How
they're
many?
each like 10 feet in between them.
Yeah, and they're still standing up against the wall.
I can cast alarm that way. If they do come after us, I'll know that they're coming after us, and it gives us a heads up.
Well, how wide is the
20
the
foot,
rest
but
of
I'll
the
just do it
hallway?
on these two. That way, in case they do come out of the alarm, it gives us a heads up.
True.
Something.
Definitely the one with the sigil then.
Get to work on that.
We're gonna say Sonder, and then we'll go to Arjun.
How were y'all able to destroy the other coffins that were in the room?
A lot.
magic.
shooting it until it don't do nothing no more. And then I hit it with some dispel magic to kind of turn it off. But I have another thought. There's a good chance we're gonna have to fight these things no matter what. And we could do it on
Maybe,
our terms.
well, maybe we, destroy the ones that are in here if they're still forming.
What I'm thinking is
Give us a little more time.
we'd have to find out if these things actually have anybody in them, but we could all step out. I cast that unpleasant bubble again, and maybe Kindred, you can kind of just use your mage hand to knock on one of the doors, get them to come on out.
Want to just open it?
Yeah, but then
No,
you
there's not-
strip it into radiant light, and that's more the thing I'm thinking about.
Well, no.
Why
I mean,
poke a
rather than
nest?
knocking.
I just kind of like point to Iskra as I'm like, "Rrr."
I have to say I might agree with Aldrin on this a little more. I do think the alarm is a perfectly good option as well, but I would rather fight them here than have them running up behind us.
Rather
That's
fight them
more-
unconscious as they're forming than
You're
have to deal with them
assuming
later
not
when they're
just
fully
sleeping.
formed.
Or maybe we end up doing it here and later. And then again and again.
Well, if we can get to the phylacteries, then we can get out of here. And we won't have to fight them,
That's quite an if.
hopefully.
Do we know how we're getting out of here?
Guess the best option is to just put it to a vote then.
All in favor
figure
of
if-
Here or-
leaving them alone and just leaving alarm there?
I raise my hand really quickly and then go back to.
Fine with that.
"Rrr."
Let us go then.
Okay.
Kindred, do your best and hurry up, please.
Can't rush me. Patience is a virtue.
I have a vodka bottle with your name on it. If you hurry up right now.
I'll try to shave off a minute.
Oh god.
Did we find anything else of interest in this room?
Just the shackles over there
No,
on the
that
table.
that was it.
Okay, so 10 minutes up, and then I do it around to like the ones that would be closest to like the hallway that continues on.
Yep.
Okay, so that's set.
And-
Mental only me.
Okay.
With the 10 minutes worth of time, does it look like the structure of the coffin, what are they made of?
They're like this weird metallic stone looking thing. It looks almost as similar, like the same substance as the doors. It's like imperfect metal. It's got little pits and grooves in it, but it definitely has a sheen of metal to it.
Yeah,
But it
I
looks...
I was gonna say that I would put the chains around a couple of them while I had time, but not if it's gonna make too much noise.
Yeah.
Silence. I'm concentrating on something else at the time. So
All right. So,
Okay, so-
alarm is set, and you guys are
Mhm.
poised at the entrance into the caves.
yep, the last 8 hours.
Let's go. Remain alert, guys, just in case.
So then doesn't the person that has
The
awesome
lantern.
vision go first, and then since we can't be surprised, we'll look at the
Um,
angel. Why don't you?
I mean, we
grab the
also
rear?
have light coming off me and Iskra still.
Just saying, like doesn't help to like optimize our options.
Agree.
Go
Works for
ahead.
me.
I will go last in case.
I will go
anything-
last.
Yeah,
I can see the furthest back.
he can't be surprised, but you can hang out with him side by side.
Okay, if anything comes up from behind, I will try to stop them.
You and me both.
All right, so continue on.
All right. Walking into the caverns beyond this room, you half expect the tunnel to be as short and squat and compact as the other rooms that you have passed through. The problem remains, however. This room, this cave, does exactly the opposite. It grows and expands outwards in all directions. You find yourselves in a large cavernous space that kind of snakes its way left and right. It seems like it goes in a downward slight angle to it. It's on one hand a beautiful space, while also there is a strengthening of that sickly, death-like feeling. The further and deeper that you go into this Kalashandra, the more your heart seems to beat faster. You can see the patterns of the necrotic and negative energy flowing through the walls just as you had before. But now they seem to pulse outwards, almost like the beating of a heart. Broom. Broom. They flow past you. Up and up and up into a ceiling that doesn't seem to have an end. They just kind of canyons upwards. You hear the slight trickling of water. Almost like somewhere within the cave there is the little bit of some sort of pool. Occasional dripping sound of liquid hitting those pools of water. But there is a well-beaten path here. You can see it clearly. And plenty of shadows for things to hide in. Welcome to the caverns.
Gildo, you still have a lot of oil, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay, I have some if you need it.
You guys walk forward carefully, examining every nook and cranny with the lights that you possess, banishing away whatever darkness. But the darkness here creeps and encroaches back. And it reminds you of whenever you were approaching the sacrificial pit on the outside. Whenever you guys were walking towards it and the light seemed to struggle against the darkness on these outer edges. You pass down along this path. Who is leading currently?
I guess
I'll be up
since-
front.
I was gonna say me since
With
I
you.
I see through darkness, so
I'll be right
even
behind
magical
you.
darkness. So I was trying to be the early warning signal.
Make a perception check for me. With advantage since Saunders up there with you and helping out. Keep an eye as
I
well.
will be looking backward, backward and around every couple of seconds.
Okay.
Still not great. 16.
16. Walking along this well-beaten path, the ground hardened. The walls seem to be made of that same obsidian black stone. Even the stalagmites and stalactites that occasionally cling from the edges of the wall, where the wall kind of curves inwards a little bit before it rounds about outwards. You see these like formations. And you just barely notice the fake floor along the pathway. And you stop.
Kind of shoots out to stop Sondra and the troop.
Yeah, I'll do the same.
A pitfall. You can see easily where the ground looks like it's kind of slightly raised. And you
I'd like
point it out to
to-
everybody.
Fan out dancing lights to try and greater show it in relief if possible.
Yeah. Broom, broom, broom. The dancing lights expand around the area. As this cave has started to curve to the left, you see it starts to snake back around to the right. And on the right side of the wall, just beyond where you see this trap would have been, I'm assuming everybody kind of makes their way around it, not to step on the path.
Mhm.
You see a passageway. It goes off to the left, breaking into the wall of the cavern. But the main source of the cave continues to go off to the right. And you see a couple of like randomly placed pillars that kind of line up along parts of the walkway as it continues forward. So you have a choice. See where this passageway on the left leads, or continue along the path deeper into the cave.
Bag of choice.
I think we should follow the beating of the energy. The
I
source.
would like to as well. Maybe we could stop it all together.
Right.
It's worth a try.
All right, I'm in.
Alrighty. You continuing along the path, you follow this beating, pulsing energy, and you see that this energy, as it comes from wherever you are going and comes towards you, it pulses slightly into that passageway to your left that you had just passed. But it follows along the walls and it continues to go along that way. There, as you continue along the path, you pass a series of 4 pillars that kind of stand 2 on each side of the path. And as the path continues, it goes over a small stream, the stone kind of creating the natural bridge and walkway over it.
This would be beautiful if it wasn't so damn dark.
You see on the other side of this pillar, on the other side of this bridge, a formation that juts from the ground. And it's like a mirror of the one that you had seen in the room back before, where there are these little, it kind of glows at the tip, and there are these little flashy butterflies that kind of like flit around the space. In fact, there was one that was kind of close to that other entrance as well. And you see at its base there are a couple of alcoves that have been carved in, and there are little skulls that are placed, 4 of them on each side. Sandra, what were you gonna say?
As we're passing over this stream, I wanted to try to just kind of lift the water a little bit to see if it follows with the direction I wanted it to go in. That it's water, at least.
Yeah. The water starts to flow upwards and follows the commands of your hand.
We'll drop it.
Make a perception check for me.
That's a 21.
21. You see parts of the water don't move. In fact, they seem to slither and move away from the source of the water as it moved. They kind of just like stick to the walls of the little creek in this cave, almost as if it's like clear gelatinous substance. It just kind of like recoils from the sudden exposure. And it goes further up along the space.
Try not to fall into the water, guys. There's things in there.
You let the water sluice back in, and it kind of like splashes a little bit, and those, whatever those jelly things are, become invisible in the water once again. Renan, what were you gonna say?
Looking at the skulls, do they appear to be the same assortment of skulls as that first room?
a random assortment. You see some human. There's definitely one that looks more like larger, probably orcish in size.
Okay. But so like, wasn't there one that looked almost borderline cow skull at?
Yeah,
in the first-
it's the skulls that you have seen have just been of different creatures.
Okay. So it's not that they're keeping to a pattern like we're
Correct.
seeing another set that are the same type.
Correct.
Okay.
You guys continue along.
Yeah.
All right.
I feel like there's something important about the 8 skulls in each of these repositories.
As you
They must have some meaning to them.
Well, 8 schools of magic, right?
there's this one. They only have 4.
I thought it was 4 on each.
Oh,
No, there's 4 total. 1 on each side.
oh, okay.
So
Which
Arjun
is-
did not say something vaguely clever.
That's fine. I was like 8 skulls, and I was like, I guess there's been 8 because you passed 2 of these things, but yeah. Continuing along the path as you kind of it curves back around again, there is another stalagmite that comes up from the ground and has the same flitting little butterflies that flit around this central pillar, and now you feel this energy strong and intense. What are you guys doing? Continuing forward.
Nothing to it now but to press on, right?
Mm-hmm. Remain alert, guys.
All right.
We're
Is
going
the
stealthy on
glow
this,
of the
right?
met-
Or
Sorry.
oh, there's light. Never mind.
Well,
Sorry.
isn't are they just metallic, like reflective, or are they glowing?
What?
The butterfly
Pillars.
pillars.
They're glowing.
Okay.
They glow
Are
of
they-
their own.
Is the glow like pulsing with the pulse of
Mm-mm.
the cave? No.
It's separate.
Huh.
You continue to pass through and into the room kind of slenders down and into this smaller, tighter space. And then before you there are 2 doors. 2 large, ornate doors, about 20 feet tall. They also seem to be made out of the same metal, but there's a pattern on the outside. A decoration of sorts that takes a little bit of looking. But it looks like there's some sort of like design to them, but it's definitely 2 doors side by side.
Oliver Iskra and Kindred to see if they know anything.
Is the design familiar to me in any way? Or does the Tet have a reaction to it?
No? So you just kind of has been scanning and looking around at anything. You can make either perception or investigation of the carvings on the wall.
Yeah,
You don't see
always
any-
investigation.
Yeah, you don't see any handholds, and the fact that there are 2 doors and not 1 kind of lends you to the idea that these don't.
Being good at
Shift.
investigation. 25.
You see it now. It takes a little bit of looking, but now with the light and everybody coming around closer, you see that these markings on the wall, these designs, are arms.
I gotta like kind of put an arm out. Tet, shine your light there.
Atet lights a bright light, and you can see now it reflects the metallic surface of this door. It's as if dozens of arms are meeting at the elbows at the joint of these 2 of the door, and are clawing their way out on top of each other as if there had been hundreds of arms that had stuck through and the doors had shut. And now these arms are just like grasping at the doors, trying to hold them open or keep them shut.
Did they seem to be made of the same material as the door?
Same material.
Yeah.
I
I
went
can't-
to everybody.
It's
I
quite a
can't
visual.
be the only person to think that two giant ornate doors might be a little too straightforward.
Maybe not deep down here like this.
This might have taken some really strong dark magic to shut whatever's in there out, or what's out here in.
Or they're just making a statement. Either
You guys-
way, I think it's up to us to find out.
We open them.
Does it seem to be sealed by the arms?
Nope. It seems like it's
The design.
the
is
design
to
of
look
it
that
is
way?
to look
Okay.
incredibly intimidating.
Is there
It's
one that's
succeeding.
like that, so that I can be like,
No, I mean, and that's the thing is like a lot of this is just the carving of the door itself. It's not like there are arms that are sticking out. It's just designed to look like the center point of those two doors had slammed shut on these arms that are like clawing their way out. I actually have artwork for this that I got the inspiration from. I will put.
something
that
that
I'll
maybe what you are referring to, or at least something similar.
Yep, that's the artwork that inspired the door.
Creepy.
Why does everything they do have to be so scary looking?
the thing?
They
Definitely sends a
never-
message.
Never
It's
the
depend
necromancy.
the others out on their own subtlety.
Anybody else? So you're trying to open the door. You find that it doesn't really push in or out, but it doesn't seem to be going like back or forth either.
Can I just open it then?
What doesn't push in or
Something-
out or
yeah.
sideways?
Something about the way that this door looks in the very center of the seam. It has a similar look as the symbols on the platform you had ridden to get here. It's got a similar sheen, different from the metal of the door. It just seems like it's sealed, like almost like a zipper, a sealed zipper all the way up to the top. But it's of the same like golden, like shimmer all the way to the top.
I want to lay against the door.
It feels
as if I'm
cold.
being embraced. If that makes sense.
And a hand grab Sonder.
Lean against it.
Yeah,
And just like
it's just
Barnaby,
cold.
he's gone.
it is cold.
Do we all
Man.
notice the little gold?
Yeah, I'd say it's easy enough to notice.
Okay.
Perhaps it is supposed to react to the magic. Though, what type of magic? I really couldn't say. Kindred?
Hmm?
What type of magic do you believe it to be? If you can figure it out any better. This is strange.
Yeah, I'm actually starting to like kind of doze in and out. I'm trying to keep up.
No, you're good. We're about done.
Okay. I'll just say I'm kind of absent-minded because I'm not gonna make you repeat all that right now. Like,
It's fine.
What about you, Arjun?
It's not really my area of expertise. Run into this sort of creepiness sometimes in the Feywild, but it's a little more theatrical rather than practical. In the picture, there's no like gap. That's more just that's part
Yeah.
of the art, not in the okay. There's no,
It was just the idea of the hands looking like part of the thing.
but there's
How
no
tall is
visible
the door?
seam.
There is a
Wonderful.
seam. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And that seam has a similar shimmer like the symbols that are on the platform that you guys came in.
I guess I will go up to that seam and just kind of look back at everyone else and just, well, might as well try something. And I try and put my hand up against the seam and just try and channel some magic into it, like we did with the platform, to see if that
You channel magic
does
into it,
anything.
and immediately the door starts to shift open. The hands on the metal stretch further out, grabbing at the sides of the door and pull.
Snap some archer.
And it kind of like makes the doors look like they are being pulled inwards.
That's cool.
Revealing something out of a nightmare on the inside. A long passageway opens into what looks like a temple on the inside, where there are 4 large tubs, almost like glass baths. Above them hang chains, shackles, and various cutting implements. Grooves from each of these baths lead to a central pool of stagnant looking red liquid with stairs that lead to on each side into this space. Welcome to the graveyard of sacrifice.
What?
And here we will end for tonight.
Are y'all not as excited as I am? Come on.
I am
We found
excited.
it.
I'm just
Souls-
also intimidated.
Yeah,
Right.
Soul's gonna be grabbing Saunders' hand so hard.
I'm sleepy, that's why.
I know, you're good. I was wanting to get to a good stopping point. I'm like, you guys are right here. You're right there, right there, right there. You're good. You're good. You're good.
Saunders
Hey, bright
smiles.
side, we didn't go down the corridor. We'd have been here for another couple hours.
I mean, this is just one room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't say that this is where all of the phylacteries were. I just said
Yeah.
that this was a place that looks like it's out of your nightmares. But
I'm fairly certain I've seen
I don't
something
think it's
like
from
this
one of
in,
my nightmares.
in one of the Diablo games. Damn.
Continually going deeper into this place. There's more layers.
yeah,
It is a beautiful onion.
it's a beautiful
Beautiful
onion.
Shrek.
A beautiful Shrek,
Beautiful
yeah.
ogre.
Well, guys, thank you so much for coming along this little ride. We've got a little bit of this, a little bit of that. We'll see how this continues to grow. And
I've been slacking, I know, but I finally got up to date on the back episodes, so they are now on YouTube as far as the Game of Santos campaign.
nice, sweet, sweet, sweet.
Nice.
No, you're good. Oh, nope, that's not it. It's YouTube.
YouTuber.
The YouTuber. All right. Well,
This is Aaron's mind dungeon. It's where he keeps his kinks.
I guess we'll have to continue
Left
to find
servicely.
out. Wee. All right, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight. We will see you guys next week, next Tuesday, for the continuation of the Rescuers and what dark secrets are just lurking around the corner there. And then
Yours was Monday.
yes, I'm sorry, Monday.
You're good.
Tuesday, Game of Santos, as we continue to delve into Kalashandra. Don't forget to go say hello to some of our friends over at Clickety Clackety tomorrow, as I think Dreamy and Trevor from Rescuers are going to be playing tomorrow night. And
I
then
believe
Sunday,
we're back on Friday.
and you're back
If
on
I'm
Friday.
wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Sunday with Fae Hunt, or Fae Court. Sorry, Fae Hunt. This is a different thing.
And just to throw in there, anybody who hasn't seen it yet on our Discord,
Oh yes.
we have updated another one of the tarot cards.
Yeah. So lots of fun, lots of excite. Thank you so much for hanging out with us, guys. We will see you next time. So have a good night. Be brave, stay fey, and have a good day. I don't know. We'll figure something out. Bye.
Like that.